The first interview of the season is always fun to listen to from head coach Sean Price as we welcome you into the Tank Connection pregame show here on 106.7 KLKC Parsons and live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Jack Leake and John Kohler with you for another football season. 12 minutes until kickoff from Lucas Field. Labette County Grizzlies hosting Tawanda Circle T-Birds. John, it's great to have you back in the booth. I know shortly after last season ended, you shot me a text and said, hey, I'd love to go another round with you in the booth. Are you happy to be back, my friend?
Oh, I'm excited. Should be a great season.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's always fun to listen to Coach Price's thoughts coming off of a long summer, as you know as well as anyone, John, as you are an ex-Grizzly football player yourself. Those summers are long. Heck, you barely even get a summer. You're living in that weight room, you're living on the practice field, and you're living with your coaches and teammates pretty much all summer long. Talk about what summer at the high school level's like.
Yeah, so pretty much the first thing that they usually do is what we call our boot camp. So the first 2 weeks of summer weights is you get up, you get in there, everyone wears white t-shirts, black shorts. It's pretty military-like, if I'm being honest. You know, I've never served, but I mean, it gets pretty rough in there. They send you to the weight room, monkey rolls, hot, sweaty. It really builds that chemistry. Then you go to different camps and stuff over that time, start installing some of the offense. But I mean, really, it's just a lot of weights in the morning, lots of running, lots of all this and that. It's just constantly going. Now, on top of that, some of these guys are multi-sport athletes, so you got to throw those sports in there as well. So most of our athletes here have been pretty busy throughout the summer.
Right. Last season, as we take a glance back, 10:45 until kickoff, Labette County went 2-7 last season, picked up a couple of wins within the conference, and was able to clinch a playoff berth and fell in the first round of the playoffs, however. But they did open with Circle last season, as we are tonight, obviously. The last one did not go so well in Tawanda, Kansas. Lost to the T-Birds 50-0, and there was never a good taste in your mouth from kickoff until the final horn there in T-Bird country. It was just a nasty affair, and we certainly hope that tonight is far, far different, as both these teams do look slightly different, as we will begin to get into the guts of that. John, I'll be honest with you. Over the summer, as I started to look into this Grizzly team, I thought, well, man, we lost all of our offensive weapons. Trey Vinson, gone. Griff Eaton, leader in touchdown receptions, gone. Matthew Boyle, gone. Boy, was I proven wrong. I was at the Jamboree last week here at Lucas Field. Kagan Bates, Nolan Nash, Hudson Baker, Lawrence Holt, Xavier Phillips, and Barrett Heston bring back more than we lost, John.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're talking about all different kinds of players that can all do different things. Hudson, 6'8", he's going to be your jump ball guy. He's your red zone threat. Nolan Nash, freshman, he's probably going to be a really good route runner, your possession guy, your safety blanket. Kagan Bates, he's going to be your mini Griff Eaton. I mean, he's got to be. He's about the same size as him. So he's going to, from what I've heard, he's really quick with the routes, able to get separation, and he's going to be a nice target for Kendall Holtzman to throw to. But Xavier Phillips, that's the one I'm excited about.
Absolutely.
Outside 6'4", you know, he should be another Matthew Boyle for us, you know. Jump ball threat.
Right.
You know, have him and Hutz on the outside. I mean, you pick your poison there as a defense.
As Xavier is our returning leading receiver, he had 6 catches for 178 yards and a touchdown last season. As you might be able to hear in our audience mic, Hell's bells begin to ring on the brand new speakers. They are crisp and they are loud here at the stadium as we see the men in red tops, red helmets, red pants, marching their way under the arch to the football stadium, about to break through the LC Grizzly banner held up by our cheer squad as they'll run down a tunnel of Labette County student body for the first time in the 2023 season. A couple more points before we take a break in our Tank Connection pregame show. 2 things I want to hit on, John. A pleasant, not surprise, but definitely a pleasant thing to have, as we haven't had a fantastic one in recent years. Labette County's offensive line is showing great signs of positivity. Talk to us about these young men on the offensive line.
Yeah, so it's obviously going to be anchored by our senior center, Lane Simmons.
Yeah.
6 foot, 295 experience. He started 3 years for us. Then you have JB, John Broadwell. He's probably going to be our left tackle. He's going to anchor the blind side of Kendall Holtzman. He should do a great job there. Then you got Lucas Hayward, the big sophomore. You know, he didn't really get to play a lot last year, but he's been working. He's been grinding all offseason. He's ready for this. Lucas Hayward's going to hold down that left guard spot. Then right tackle, we're going to have Michael Reed, another sophomore, you know. We talked about that freshman class last year, how they were going to be so big, how they would be so huge for us, and now they're starting to get that chance. He's one of those guys. Then at right guard, we're going to have big Chris Stevens, 6'3", 305, all-state defensive tackle last year for us. He should do an excellent job at right guard opening holes. And that unit's being led by Travis Hurley, you know, head coach on here. He coached at LSU before, so a lot of experience with that O-line room.
Absolutely, as they are going to be protecting an all-state passer in Kendall Holtzman. He threw for just over 2,100 yards and 21 touchdowns. Did have 7 interceptions, a little bit of a blemish on that nice stat line. He looks to get those down this season. But Kendall Holtzman, definitely a great passer last year, senior year. We look for him to mature and looking through his progressions and definitely hitting some of those checkdowns.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, you just tell by his body language. This is a mature Kendall Holtzman. You know, I wouldn't have thought I'd ever say that a couple years ago, but he's really grown up.
Good player.
He's really, his body language shows he's really turned into a leader for this team. So I think we're going to see the most complete form of Kendall Holtzman we've seen. And we saw a lot from him last year, so I'm excited.
His deep ball is one of the prettiest rainbows you'll see in the SEK, as the T-Birds wearing blue helmets and white jerseys all the way down to the socks and shoes make their way under the same arch that our Grizzlies did as they're making their way to Lucas Field. Grizzly Nation, this has been the first Tank Connection pregame show of the season. Still a little bit of it left, should time allow. 5:45 until kick. We're going to take our first 60-second break, as it looks like they're getting ready for the anthem, but Circle's not even to the stadium yet. So we'll go ahead and we'll just take a 60-second break here on KLKC Parsons.
Day & Zimmerman, one of the largest privately owned companies in the U.S. with operations across the country and internationally. We are comprised of multiple brands that put people to work, protect our freedoms, and improve the world. The Parsons, Kansas location has manufactured munitions for over 50 years for our country's warfighters. Day & Zimmerman has immediate openings for production operators starting at $18.02 an hour on our weekend crew. Work a 12-hour day shift Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and receive 40 hours of pay. We also offer competitive benefits. Apply today.
National anthem played beautifully by the Labette County Grizzly Band. Referees get in their positions and captains will make their way to the Grizzly split face that is splitting that white stripe that is the 50-yard line. Half of the face yellow, half of the Grizzly face is red, as we're going to go through a quick overview of our visitors from Tawanda, Kansas, the Circle Thunderbirds. As Circle, definitely a stout opponent, put it on us on their home field 50-0 last season. They finished the year 8-3. last year, made it into the playoffs, tried to make a run into mid-November, and then fell to McPherson 49-28 in their third playoff game of the postseason. As John, they bring back a quarterback with the same last name as last year's stud quarterback, but this year it's his brother. So the brother of last year's starting quarterback for Circle is their new starter. So is that a good sign or a bad sign? I don't know, because the guy last year was awful good, John.
Well, if I know anything about being a little brother, you usually got a chip on your shoulder, so I fully expect him to come out here full confidence. You know, he's going to know what he's doing, right? He's watched his brother do it. He's been in the system for a year. He's got to watch and learn. He should be, you know, effective in their system. He should be making plays. So I'm sure we schemed for him. I'm sure we've done what we can defensively to prepare for this Thunderbird offense.
Connor Chadwell is whom we are speaking of. He's a 6'1", 156-pound senior for the Circle T-Birds. Cole Glaves is a returning receiver. He had a touchdown and 90 yards on Labette County last season. He returns as well, as does their running back, number 30, Cannon McCormick, a 5'10", 215-pound senior running back. As it seems like, John, as the captains make their way onto the field, if you want to jot who they are, we'll name them off whenever I finish speaking. But it seems like Labette County always gets dealt a tough hand in terms of an opposing running back. I think back to all kinds of games at home, on the road, where Labette County just gets that tough draw against an ace of spades that the other team puts in the backfield next to their quarterback. And Cannon McCormick definitely poses that threat. But something that Circle does potentially have a disadvantage with Labette County is the offensive line. They only return 3 offensive linemen, which might sound like a lot, but Labette County returns from the system pretty much all 5. And they're much better than they were last season. So, John, who were the captains for Labette County tonight?
Yeah, tonight we have Big Chris Stevens, Keegan Bates, Wayne Simmons, and Kendall Holtzman out there leading us. So, I mean, it's always a good sign to have a soft Keegan out there. It really shows, you know, the culture that Labette County has developed under Coach Price all through these years. So, I mean, that's always a good thing. Another thing about the offensive line, you know, as you look through these rosters, we have the size on them. So, you know, you really want to look for us to really just, I hate to say it like this, but run the ball down their throats. I mean, you got to. I mean, we can't always run the pass. So, really got to establish the run first. Fully expect Coach Price to do that coming out the gate.
Coach Price said in the preseason magazine, I haven't had a true running back in 4 years, and Jamal can really fit that role. Jamal Jackson is whom Coach Price is speaking of. Jamal finished with just 300 yards last season, and I look for him to double or push to triple that this season, John. As 12 minutes is put on the scoreboard on the south end of Lucas Field next to the waving American flag. We have a southeast breeze, beautiful temperatures for kickoff. It is September 1st, and it is the first game of Labette County's 2023 football season. Barrett Heston and Lawrence Holt, a speedster we didn't get to touch on, back there at the 5-yard line to return the opening kick. Whistle blows, and we are just about to be underway. Kicker boots the ball high in the air. A nice kick lands in the chest of Barrett Heston. He's across the 15, cuts right across the 20, and he's thrown down to the ground at the 22-yard line. And that's going to be Cannon McCormick on the tackle. As the new speakers, forgive me, they're so crisp that I might have to turn down our audience mic quite a bit here. Good field position, though, John, to open up the season here, as that's always been a struggle for Labette.
Yeah, it's certainly better than being within your own 10-yard line. So we'll take when we get to start out, and we'll see what we come out with.
A lot of down linemen for Labette County on the opening possession. 6 down linemen, and then you have Barrett Heston behind the far right O-lineman. 1 receiver out left, 1 right. Ball's on the right hash. Holtzman takes the snap, throws off his back foot, deep left, and that's got to be interference, and no flag is drawn. Lawrence Holt was kind of tugged on there by the corner, Rocky Cosby.
Yeah, I think the flag may have just got caught in the pocket, so when he went to throw it, hand got caught, couldn't be thrown. That's what we're going to say, all right, you know.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Second down and 10 for Labette County.
So, yeah, the Thunderbirds, they looked like they're going to go cover 1, but right before the snap count happened, corners rolled back into cover 3 look. So, I mean, we just had to designate a route there, so we can't really break the cover 3.
Two shallow safeties for Circle. It's a run. Jamal Jackson left side. It's a counter play. Has a nice hole bounding around the left edge of the field and is brought down after a gain of 5, maybe a short 6. And it'll be third and manageable for Holtzman and company.
Yeah, our left tackle, just actually Markel Reed, he did a great job of hooking that end and allowed Jamal to get it to the outside where he had some room to run. So a good sign right there from the Grizzlies.
Ball's on the left hash after the left-handed run as Holtzman is going to get Circle to jump off sides. Cannon McCormick getting a little bit antsy for the T-Birds, and that's going to be a first down for Labette County. At least it should be, as there seems to be some confusion. Oh, they're going to call a false start, John.
Well, we fell for the Frisco. Frisco was freeze in this offense or whatever, which means, you know, you clap, nothing happens. Usually you try to draw them offside, so I couldn't see who it was. I hope it was just one of our young guys who haven't, you know, done it a whole lot. So definitely not a good thing to get back this far on third down.
Some early season rust to shake off for these Grizzlies potentially. 11-12 to go, first quarter. Labette County on the first drive of the game. Holtzman with Jackson behind him is in the gun. Two receivers left, two right. It's Holton Bates in the slots. Holtzman claps once, takes the pigskin, steps up, he's pressured and sacked. That's going to be the T-Bird Coy Stevens, and it's 4th and long for Labette County. They're going to have to punt it away on possession number 1.
Yeah, they rushed 5 there, but it looked like they did some kind of a stunt there, and there was just a lack of communication on the front. Because, I mean, Kendall was hit pretty quick right there by the Thunderbird defender, and it's just not a good opening drive. Let's hope we can get it together. Let's get a stop here, you know? It's just one of those things happens.
As there's some pretty major confusion taking place here for Labette County, as there's no punter on the field for the Grizzlies, and now comes Landon Jones with 5 seconds to go in the snap, or the play clock, pardon. They've got to get the snap off, and they do. Jones punts it away. A nice kick for Landon. Beauty lands at the 45 and hops in favor of the Grizzlies to the 46. A nice first punt of the season for Landon Jones, a transfer from Parsons, a 5'8" junior. As, man, that was tough for Landon, John, as no one knew really what the set was, and Landon had to sprint onto the field.
Yeah, just a lack of communication there, but he did the best he could with what he had. So I'll be interested about how our defense is going to be this year. You know, we kind of struggled a little bit last year, but got more experience, and we'll see how it goes right here on this first drive.
Connor Chadwell, the quarterback for Tawanda. Drew Berryman, another senior, is put in motion. He won't get it. It's a keeper for Chadwell, and he has wide open green grass, and he's going to score on the first play from scrimmage for Tawanda Circle, and it's already 6-0 T-Birds here early on a 46-yard touchdown sprint from Connor Chadwell.
Yeah, so on that play right there, they motioned Drew Berryman over to the left side. Then right before the snap, they motioned back over. And with that, they faked the handoff to the running back towards Berryman where he was running to. And they pulled the guard tackle on the other side, linebackers bit on Berryman's side, and allowed Chadwell to go right through follow his blocks and get to the outside.
Last season, Connor Chadwell had 43 rushing yards and a touchdown against Labette.
Number 7's the holder.
And tonight he's already got 46 yards and a score, matching his stat perfectly on play number 1. 10 minutes to go first quarter, 6-0 Circle. The kicked extra point is good, 7-0 Circle here early. We're going to step aside for a 30-second break. Grizzlies trail early.
My name is Bria, and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South.
Connor Chadwell gives Tawanda Circle a 7-0 lead. Just 2 minutes into play. John, not a good start for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I definitely know how you wanted to open it up, especially after the penalty going 3 and out. Just to be honest, just our eyes were not in the right place defensively. We fell for the fake handoff, look for the pulling guards, and you follow that, you'll get the ball. You just didn't execute.
Tawanda set to kick it away, and they do. Cooper Ball, the kicker, freshman kicker, caught by Barrett Heston again. Has space this time across the 25. Well, maybe not. He stretches out with his right arm.
Brought down by number 15.
As they are going to say, he did get right there, the 25-yard line. So another good setup for Labette County and Kendall Holtzman's offense.
Yeah, I'll be surprised. We saw him go cover 3. I think that's just their base defense, a cover 3 look. So I'll be interested to see if we don't go 4 wide, twins on both sides, and just run four seams right at them, see which one they're going to cover on the inside.
As they don't have
shot there.
Right, they don't have really a deep safety, at least I would call it. They have one that approaches in the middle, Nick Alls. Holtzman claps once, and pressure in the backfield. Holtzman keeps it, tucks it, and gets nowhere. Second down for Kendall. He chose to keep it and didn't get a lot.
Yeah, that was the right read, though. There's definitely a hole there. That blitzing linebacker came through. He pulled it. It's just that we didn't get the block on the outside, on the right side. Yeah, he just got right through, and he's right in Kendall's face. So not much you can do there if you're Kendall.
9:20 and counting, first quarter, 7-0 Circle. 14 seconds, play clock. Holt, the lone receiver, to the short side. That's the right side. 2 receivers left, Barrett Heston in the slot, Nolan Nash, far side. Almost a false start on Holt. Holtzman gets the snap, gives it to Bates, it is Kagan Bates, and he gets to the 30. We do have a flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play.
Should be encroachment, maybe? Not for sure. I think it's on them. I think one of them was in the neutral zone. Oh, face mask. All right.
Face mask is the call. 5-yard face mask
Yeah,
call.
that's only 5 yards in high school. I forgot about that. That's a 15-yarder in college and the NFL.
It is.
Well, we'll take it, though. You saw a pre-snap. Kendall called out the blitz. What does receiver Kagan know what's going on? Just throw it out there real quick. Let Kagan do the rest.
3rd down and 1 for Labette County. Getting in formation. Lawrence Holt sprints to the far side of the field. Ball is smack dab in the middle of the field. You can tell on the field the sun is setting behind the press box. Half the field shadow, half of it sunlight. Holtzman takes the snap and is swamped immediately. It's an instant loss of 4 yards, 4th down and 5 for Labette County approaching.
Number 3, Coy Stephen.
Yeah, it was just a missed timing. I don't think we've repped that enough, or something just happened on that play, but Lawrence Holt, he actually got hit with the ball when he was coming through. So, yeah. When that happens, it's a bobbled snap. Didn't really have time to get to where you're going, and on that one they sent 7 or 8 guys, so it wasn't going to turn out too good.
Landon Jones, a busy man early, adjusts the pigskin, punts it away, end over end kick, lands at the Circle 45, and it'll stop rolling about the Tawanda 38. So 2 good punts for Landon Jones out of the gate to start the season, but not 2 good drives for our Grizzlies, who we talked about all their weapons, but they haven't had an opportunity to show what they can do.
No, I just think it's just been bad luck, to be honest. It's not like we've just ran bad plays or whatever, but they're just doing something so much better than us. We've just had miscues, penalties, miss-snap. It's just stuff you can fix on yourself. We're beating ourselves right now, more than they're beating us.
Yes. 8-13 first quarter, 7-0 Circle. Chadwell takes the snap, gives it to McCormick, and he's met in the backfield firmly, and he shakes a tackle, shakes 2 tackles, and Cannon McCormick is going to score a 62-yard touchdown, as it looked like he was going to be decked by Barrett Heston, but the end zone
Touchdown for
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest.
That's Weston Ross. Pardon me, Weston Ross for the T-Birds.
Yeah,
Weston
we
Rose.
just didn't make a tackle there. I mean, I don't think there's an excuse for that at all. I mean, we had him wrapped up. I just don't see the energy from the defense right now. I mean, that's two plays, 2 scores for him. So you definitely just there's got to be some energy on that sideline. I'll be honestly shocked if I don't see one of the coaches, light into him a little bit, see if they can't get something going.
The kick is good yet again, 14-0 Circle. 8 minutes to go first quarter. It's been a long 4 minutes for Grizzly Nation. We'll see what the offense can do when we come back in 30 seconds on KLKC Parsons.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
Both kickers are very busy players early on. Labette County's punter in a negative way, and Tawanda's kickoff man in a good way. It's 14-0 Circle. Labette County back deep to return yet again. Tawanda brought a good crowd, as it's a solid 2-hour drive, maybe not quite, hour 50, as we usually make it once a year for the T-Bird Classic basketball tournament. As here's the opening kick. It's a shorter one this time. One hop and into the hands of Barrett Heston again. He's going to stretch it right side as he slips and falls at the 26, which is where he's gotten about every time on the kickoff return.
Yeah, no, he definitely looked promising there, I saw the one dude there. I mean, it looked like he had some room, and he tried to make a cut. Field's slick around this time of year, so it's bound to happen.
As we missed a fake punt, Circle ran a fake punt. They tried to throw it, and it was overthrown, intended for Glaves on the far side of the field. So John Circle getting a little bit cute, and now Labette County has the ball on the Circle 49-yard line.
Yeah, this definitely be a momentum switch for us, if we take advantage of this field position we get and put some points on the board, regardless if that's a kick from Landon or we put it in the end zone. We'll be happy with either one at this point.
Kendall Holtzman claps once, twice, and that's a false start on Lawrence Holt, as that stuff is going to happen early on. It already happened earlier in the game. Sometimes it just takes some mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, but you're a receiver, and I'm not going to drag on Lawrence Holt, but as a receiver, you're watching the ball the whole time usually, so it's kind of inexcusable. Kind of not happens. Happened to me once. It's going to happen to a lot of guys. So,
as Coach Price said in the pregame interview, it's high school football. Mistakes are going to happen. Holtzman with his first deep pass of the season, and it is caught by Nolan Nash as he hits the dirt at the 26-yard line. That is a gorgeous throw and an even better catch for the freshman, Nolan Nash.
Yeah, talk about put some faith in your guy, Nolan Nash. An absolute animal, middle school football stuff. He gets here and he makes a play in his first varsity football game. So Price put some trust in his freshman, and, well, no one proved him right. I would not be shocked here if they take a shot to Lawrence on the outside now.
As that play right there reminded me of Ethan Jamison as he just Randy mossed it right out of the defender's hands. As we have a little toss out to the left side, Jamal Jackson gains a few yards. And John, it feels like the ice has been broken. The crowd cheered a little bit. We had our first big play. Now the players can kind of let those shoulders sag a little bit.
Yeah, they're not as tight. You can see that in their body movement. They're getting into the formations they need to get into, and they're starting to execute a little bit. So all that's good, but we really need to start to focus up as we get closer to the red zone so we can put some points on the board.
Absolutely. 4 minutes And counting first quarter, Circle up 14-0. 2nd and 8 for Labette County after a big pass to Nolan Nash. Circle almost encroaches, no call. It's a handoff. Jackson bounces outside, has room, gets outside even farther, hits the sideline, puts a move, loses the football. It's on the deck, and it's going to be picked up by Labette County, as that is a big-time break for Labette County. Lawrence Holt with a nice run.
It was actually Jamal Jackson.
Pardon me, Jamal Jackson. Thank you, John.
Yeah, but ball maybe
I'm rusty.
It's okay. It happens. But Jamal, he tried to make a move on the outside sideline there, and it just popped out of his hands, you know.
Yep.
So I wonder if one of the coaches will talk to him, you know, make sure you're getting the called eagle claw, you know, the points on the ball, hold it to the form, so you don't have it right there so it slips out.
Ball security definitely vital whenever you're a team that can only make so many mistakes. 3 minutes, same play but to the opposite side. Jackson cuts upfield, lowers his head and gains a few and lost it again. Jamal Jackson gave it up to Tawanda this time. Kendall Holtzman visibly frustrated about something of the sorts, as that was a big opportunity for Labette County. You could feel in the atmosphere everyone was starting to anticipate the first touchdown of the year, as the clock will now be frozen at 2:51. Circle gets it back, looking to go up 3 scores.
Yeah, you wonder if he was down or not, and that's what Kendall's frustrated about. But that ball squirted out, and usually in high school they'll just let it go. So it's more exciting and stuff, but yeah, definitely frustration is sort of starting to show for this Grizzly team.
As Kendall isolated himself on the north side of the sideline and showed some frustration, as here's a handoff up the middle to Rose, the running back, and better defense up front for Labette, as Coach Price is a big fan of Labette's front 6 on the defensive side.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't show up on the first couple of drives, but they definitely showed up there. They got a stop last time, so you wonder if they finally fix some things and we're going to settle in and start playing some Grizzly football.
Ball is on the right hash. Circle working the field right to left from our position. 2:20 to go in the first quarter. 2nd down and a long 9. Chadwell with the pass. Well protected. Throws it out right side flats. It's Glaves. Gets by 1-2 defenders and is brought down by a host of secondary players for the Grizzlies. It'll be 3rd down, or are they going to give it to him? They haven't even decided yet. And they do. He got it by the nose of the football. 1st and 10, Tawanda Circle.
Yeah, I'm not going to drag on the kid, but there's a missed tackle out there that just kind of reached out there at the hand, hoped we got something, and didn't really break down and make a play. So just little things from this Grizzly defense that need to be tweaked.
As this was 20 yards, not even, from being a 14-7 affair, but instead Circle has it, and they lead 14-0. A run up the middle, another well-defended play up the middle for Labette County's defensive lineman, and Roper Whitley in on the action alongside Chris Stevens as they put a stop on Rose.
Yep, I mean, Bradley Black, who was in there as well, and that's the kid I was going to say something about missing a tackle last time, so he definitely bounced back and helped make a play there. As hopefully we force a long 3rd down here to get another quick stop.
As hopefully they can. One more play before that happens. 2nd down and 11 for Circle, 60-second mark. Wind still gusting out of the southeast. Man in motion along the far side for Circle is Ailes. Here's the snap. Chadwell keeps it around the right bend. Hit from behind hard, and he'll hit the dirt. In there on the tackle is Tayton Claiborne for Labette County. 3rd down and 4 for Circle.
Yeah, this coaching staff is definitely hoping that Tayton's the next line of great linebackers that we've had here, you know. We were blessed to have Rogan Bruce a couple years ago. Zach McCarty followed. Andrew Jameson was good for us, and Cody Hamilton really stepped up these last couple years. So Mike Hayward's done a great job of developing his guys, and we're hoping Tayton Claiborne can take off with that next group.
20 seconds. Circle's going to have to get one more play off, though. Chadwell takes it, drops back, fires in and out of the hands, or should I say through the hands, of Jay Bonewitz. 14 seconds, that stops the clock.
Back-to-back stops for this Grizzly defense is definitely improving, as we can see there. I don't think they'll go for it here, but they went for it at the 50, like 15 yards to go, so who knows.
They ran a fake punt on their last possession. Barrett Heston and Lawrence Holt back with their toes on the 40-yard line of their own to return the punt. Bonewitz trots on late for circle to get set. Snap coming momentarily. Punter's heels are at the 15. It's a low line drive, swirling end over end. Here's Holt, gets by one defender, gets by two, turns up the edge, plants his feet, cuts back, and is twisted out of bounds at the circle 40, and there's a flag.
Oh, and an injured Thunderbird, number 15 for them, Jay Bonewitz, the 5'11" sophomore wide receiver for them, so it's unfortunate to see. He looks like he's in some pretty good pain. Hopefully it's just a cramp and nothing too serious. You know, you always hate to see this kind of stuff early in the season, or any point for that matter.
Lawrence Holt with a good return, a penalty flag pending, but more importantly, Bonewitz's condition, as he's in some pain down there on the 50-yard line. We'll step aside for a 60-second break and come back with an update on Jay Bonewitz.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. The couple share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the House gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at klkcradio.com.
Has good news for Jay Bonewitz. He trotted off the field and got a good round of applause from both his fan base as well as our Grizzly Nation, sitting just below us in the metal bleachers of Lucas Field. So we hope to see Bonewitz back on the field. The penalty flag was a block in the back on the Grizzlies. That puts the ball at their own 49. Negates a really nice Lawrence Holt punt return, but not too bad, as here's Lawrence in motion as the play ensues. It's Jackson up the middle, hit immediately as the clock runs out, and that will end quarter number one. I hate to go back-to-back on breaks, but that is the siren to signal the end of the first quarter. Circle 14, Labette County 0. It'll be 2nd and 13 for Labette on their own 46 when we return in 60 seconds. This is Grizzly football on KLKC Parsons.
Labette Community College is meeting the need for an increased demand in qualified radiographers. Our radiography students will train on the latest technology in a hospital simulation environment.
I wanted to be able to go into a career where I could help people. And if you're going to go into that field in this part of the four-state area, LCC is the only place to come.
Tuition is nearly half the cost of universities. Scholarship and financial aid available for those who qualify. Text radiography to 620-293-6671 for more information or visit labette.edu.
Welcome back, Grizzly fans, to the press box of Lucas Field. 12 minutes put on the scoreboard to signal that the second quarter is about to begin. Labette County will have the football. They'll be working the field right to left now. Ball is placed at the right hash. That is on the far side, as we do switch ends each quarter. Nolan Nash had a big-time catch earlier. He's in solo coverage on the near side, just about 10 yards from his friends. Teammates, I should say. As here's Holtzman stepping back, pressured from the front and back, gets by one defender, two, takes a hit and spins down near the circle 43, 44-yard line. So third down and manageable. Nice run by Kendall.
Yeah, it was just a quarterback draw on that. It was just a quarterback draw on that play. And that one step, step back like you're about to take a drop back, really sells the defense on that pass. Allows the lane, you slipped a couple of tackles and got forward for a good gain of 8.
It would be nice for Labette County to piece together a drive. As we talked earlier, if ands, buts, this could be a 14-7 game. But it still can in a few minutes as Labette got another stop and another opportunity here. Here's Jackson up the middle off a run, and I think he's going to get the first down, and he did. That's a nice way to get a first down for Labette. Little ground and pound by Jamal Jackson. Are they going to give it to him, John? That is tight.
Looks like it's going to be a couple inches short. Yeah.
I think they're going to measure, as that is quite close, as they do have the fourth down marker switched to the number 4 ready to make it just that for Labette County, and which I would assume that Coach Price might draw up that quarterback sneak. Kendall Holtzman has good size to him at 6'1", 215. And I remember last year, John, as we look back in the game against Parsons here, the first 3 or 4 plays of the game were quarterback sneaks.
Yeah. Oh, well, they gave us the first down there, but yeah, the quarterback sneak is very effective. The kind that we ran last year is just kind of just get there and have his lineman kind of push him forward, kind of like what the Eagles did this past NFL season or whatever with Jalen Hurts, or kind of just dragged him forward, really tried to use their size in bully ball. So that's something that we've become very good at.
First and 10, Labette County in enemy territory for the second time here tonight. The first time ended in a fumble and a turnover. Hopefully this doesn't result in the same. Holtzman in the gun with Jackson behind him. Fakes the handoff, rolls out left. A little dump down. Barrett Heston gets across the 40, brought down by the head by the T-Bird. Nick Ailes. Another flag on the far side. It's been a flag-heavy affair. It would be second down and about 6 for Labette, but the flag is pending.
Yeah, I understand you got to make some calls, but this is kind of, you're making yourself part of the game. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, though, and it was something pretty egregious because usually, if they called a bunch early on, they'll kind of let it slide as the game progresses, but it had to have been something pretty egregious for them to call here.
The play happened on the near side, just in front of us, in between the left hash and the Grizzly sideline, and the flag was thrown on the far side of the right hash. So it was something away from the play, if you will. So it had to have been something, as you said, pretty noticeable for him to toss the yellow flag, as they're having a conference at the 35-yard line on the far side of the field discussing whom the flag is on.
Yeah, some of the time you can't tell, you can't get a jersey number or something for some of the flags, and that could be pretty frustrating for a coach. They throw a flag and they can't tell you a jersey number or something, so. Oh, okay, that's what they're discussing. They're trying to figure out what happened or whatever.
An unsportsmanlike conduct on Labette County backs them up 15. It would have been 2nd and 6, and now it's about 2nd down and 20. For the Grizzlies, is usually whenever a flag is thrown that far away from the play, it's going to be something of the sorts, and it was indeed for Labette County. So now they have a long ways to go as the first down line seems like it's a mile away, all the way at the Tawanda 31-yard line, as Labette County has the ball in their own territory. 14-0, circle on top, 10-20 second quarter. Holtzman getting the signal from Coach Argabright. Tanner Russell on the sideline signaling into the quarterback. It's a pass. It's a little hitch and go.
Ball.
It's a floater to Nolan, in and out of his hands, and then a penalty flag is thrown. That's going to go on Christian Andrews.
Yeah, he just didn't get the head turnaround when he tried to make the play on the ball, and he was all up in Nolan's face. I mean, I think it was good defense personally, but he did make contact with him, so the ref had to make the call because he did not turn his head around. He didn't know where the ball was, so. what happens when you don't turn your head around as a DB. It's usually going to be a flag thrown.
As Labette County may be finding a sort of identity early in the season, as you really can't develop an identity 1 quarter through your season, but at least inside of a game, this seems to be theirs. The Nolan Nash-Kendall Holtzman connection, as the other pass just like that one to Nolan was completed in the same manner for about a 26-yard gain. This one similar, but resulted in a penalty. 2nd and 4, they got that yardage back off the penalty.
Thought it was supposed to be an automatic first down on that call, but
rules are real different at high school, John. It really is interesting. Xavier Phillips out wide, press coverage. It's Kagan Bates. He's going to look for Phillips, floats it. He comes back to the ball, catches it inside the red zone down to the 16-yard line. Labette County's length proving lethal to the T-Bird secondary.
Yeah, and that one, I mean, the DB just lost the ball. Kendall put enough airtime on it for Xavier to adjust to the ball and come back, and the DB just kind of trailed forward, didn't really slow down enough. And like we said earlier, the length on the outside is going to be an issue for these T-Birds. They don't really have the length to match them out there. So
they don't.
Great job by Argerbright and the play calling from Price and stuff to really figure that one out. Kendall does a great job at throwing those outside balls, as we said before, the deep balls. That's where he makes his money.
Labette with another opportunity to make it a one-score game. Here's the snap. It almost hit Holt. Holtzman keeps it, floats it, caught by Bates, stays on his feet, and into the end zone. Touchdown, LC Grizzlies. 14-6 is the score, and a great play call from the Labette County coaching staff. Lawrence Holt was in motion. They faked it to him, faked it to Jamal in the backfield. Holtzman rolled out, and there sat Kagan Bates squeaking into the end zone.
Yeah, so after that faked Lawrence Holt, Drew Berryman, the outside linebacker, came crashing it down hard, and when he faked the handoff to Jamal, he really bit, or when Kendall faked it, he really bit, and he rolled out. Kind of found Kagan wide open right there in the flat.
Nolan Nash on for the extra point. Here's the snap, hold, kick, and that was a beautiful sequence for Labette County Special Teams unit, as there is some energy at Lucas Field for Angry Red. 14-7 is your score, 9:40 to go in the half. We'll be back in 1 minute. This is Grizzly Football.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
You can hear the energy is definitely much more positive in the stands for Labette County's fan base.
Flag on the play.
As the first time Labette County's gotten to kick the ball off in terms of a kickoff procedure this season results in a flag thrown and a stoppage of play, and they walk back, and they're going to re-tee. Offsides on Labette County, as this is an area in which they haven't gotten out the Swiffer and dusted off the shelf yet. This is the first time they brought this unit on.
Yeah, and we haven't seen a lot of it in the past couple years, so we'll see how our special teams, ability is.
There were a lot of high-scoring Labette County football games last season.
Yeah.
Labette County's offense is nothing to nod your head at if you're a team coming in to play us. As it's 14-7, ladies and gentlemen, it was ugly early, but Labette has loosened up. Here's a kickoff to circle, and he's going to get to about the 40-yard line. It's Christian Andrews, Dominic Sawyer is the kick returner wearing number 22.
Yeah, nice play by Deontay Fields there, the freshman on the special teams unit, chasing him down and knocking him out of bounds. So let's see if we make it 3 straight stops, for this Grizzly defense. They've really turned it up after those first long plays, so see if we can keep it going and make a comeback.
It's 14-7 Circle with 9:30 to go in the half. Circle scored on their first 2 runs of the game, essentially. Labette County had a chance to score and fumbled, so this game could be tied if you want to play that game. Here's a run up the middle, and nada is the result for Weston Rose. 2nd down and 10 approaching. Labette's trenches are tightening up.
Yeah, Chris Stevens and the nose tackle, Cole Stevens, really, they clogged it up, and there really was not much anything to do. Hudson got a free rush in there as well, so grab the legs, hold him up for the whistle to blow. So it's a nice play for that front.
9-minute mark has been surpassed. Chadwell in the gun. Fakes a clap. Bowing out is Rose. Rose catches. Rose drops it. 3rd down and 10 coming up for Tawanda. Big time opportunity. Let's see if the Grizzly fans get behind their defense.
It looked like there could have been something there, though. It looked like there's some miscommunication with the linebackers about who was going to get the swing man there. So if he caught the ball,
he was open.
Blockers 3-on-3,
yep.
Then running back. Yeah.
8:30 to go. Trips right. Ball is in the middle of the field. Maybe offset to the right. Just a touch. Ball's at their own 38. 3rd and 10. Big time down. He's pressured. It's a screen, and it is met in the backfield. He's going to be brought down after being driven forward by a host of Grizzlies. Big time read off the block for the Labette defensive line. 4th down and 7 for Tawanda, and on comes the punt unit.
Great resiliency by this Grizzly defense. They didn't get knocked down after those first couple bad plays we had. And they're starting to find that energy and come make plays. Cole Stevens, great job on setting back, coaching points. I know Coach Pierce has talked about the screen probably a couple times this week. Way to sit back, wrap him up, and let your guys come help you finish the play.
On to punt for Circle. Coy Stevens motioning to Justin Andrews to get on the field. Is Tawanda having some problems of their own, and they're forced to call a timeout. Logan Clothier, the head coach of the T-Birds, as now the tables are starting to turn, not just on the scoreboard, but Tawanda having some technical difficulties, if you will, and forced to call a timeout. We'll see if Labette can tie it when we come back in 30 seconds on KLKC.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here.
Here's the snap, and here's the punt. That's a beautiful spiral. I would just get away, but Holt's going to pick it up, spins, tries to gain a few, and is twisted down. But the end result is all that matters. Labette County maintains possession at about the 20-yard line. Nothing back too far. Here comes a good 80-yard drive, potentially, to tie this thing, John.
Yep, this is where that mature Kendall Holtz we were talking about is going to come in here. All right, we got to see if he can lead his guys down the field. You know, he's probably not going to get a whole lot of help. He's going to have to figure out, throw some nice balls and stuff, figure out a way to get the chains moving for this Grizzly unit.
As they've started to kind of settle in, we've said 900 times, but it's been in the same way each time. Those high passes to the sideline against some of those shorter secondary defenders of Tawanda.
Yeah, what are usually 50-50 balls for any other team are 75-25 balls for us just because of the size we have out there.
Holtzman takes the snap. It's a run. Jackson up the middle. Had a nice gap, but it was snuffed out quick by Cannon McCormick, the linebacker. as we haven't seen him on the offensive side. It's mainly been Weston Rose.
Yeah, you just hope Jamal's not going to get too banged up, because, I mean, he took a pretty good shot there. He was running high, and McCormick got underneath it, but it was a good shot there, so you hope you can limit some of those, maybe start running some more outside plays, outside zones with Jamal, not, feeding to the big boys inside.
2 out right, 1 out left. It's Holt. He'll adjust closer to the sideline. Ball is in the middle of the field, offset to the left. 6:43. Holtzman claps, drops back, air mails it to Holt, and it is off his chest plate. A beautifully placed ball. If he would have caught it, it would have been close to being out of bounds. But it was placed right on his chest.
Yeah, so like I said, mature Kendall Holton, senior Kendall Holton that we're talking about, put the ball right where it's supposed to be. Couldn't have done anything else. I mean, that was just a gorgeous ball on the outside. Lawrence, he's just got to make the play. He's still young. I know he's a junior, but this is only his second season here at Labette County, so he probably didn't get a lot of action out there last year, so he's still adjusting to it.
Big 3rd down and 10 for the Grizzlies. Here's a snap, well protected. Holtzman fires out right side, incomplete, hits the grass, looking for Bates out in the deep flats on the right side. That would have been a gain of about 10, but it was about a 30-yard pass in essence, because he threw it from the left hash to the far right side. Tough sequence for the Grizzlies when you felt like they could go tie it, and now Circle's looking to get good field position as Landon Jones is forced to punt back inside the 10.
Yep, just a curl out route combination out there. Kendall made the right read. The corner stayed back with the curl. Had his guy, just missed him outside.
6:30 on the clock, 14-7 Circle. Landon Jones bent at the knees, catches, punts with the left foot, aims for the sideline away from Ailes, and that's a nice punt by Landon Jones as it's going to stop and go out of bounds at the Circle 49, as you could tell he was trying to keep it away from the return man, took a hop in favor of the Grizzlies and went out of bounds. Well done, Landon.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to go a lot of distance, but he's placed the ball in very smart locations. I mean, that's just as good as getting all that distance. I mean, you kick it down the middle 50 yards, you return 20 yards.
Correct.
It's about as good as a 30-yard punt to the sideline. So
well said. So here comes Tawanda looking to extend this back out. As I mentioned, it almost doesn't make sense. As they walked, and I mean walked, into the end zone on their first 2 runs of the game, and it's 14-7 with 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Labette's really played much better defense here in the second quarter. As here's an awkward play by Tawanda.
That's got to be a flag.
Early whistles for the T-Birds, as that never felt right from the start, did it, John?
No, I'm surprised they didn't call it before the snap came. You can't have it's illegal. Yeah, it's illegal to have 2 guys in motion at once, and you saw the slot receiver and the outside receiver on the left side both motion, which was a little interesting. I don't know if they heard something different or what, but we'll take it.
1st down and 15 for the T-Birds. As Labette, honestly, Circle's been more sloppy than Labette County ever since the Grizzlies scored.
Yeah, definitely. This Grizzly unit has definitely tightened their game up.
Drew Berryman in motion, getting it around the edges. Rose, a little better run this time, looking to get the first and won't quite get there. 3rd down and a short 3 coming up for the T-Birds. Nice run by Weston Rose, brought down by Jamal Jackson, playing both ways for Labette tonight.
Say, thank goodness we had Jamal out there. I mean, he followed his blockers on the counter play there, and he looked like he had some room to run. So it was a great play by Jamal to track him down.
2nd down and 3, my apologies. 5:40 to go and counting as T-Birds looking at their sideline. It's Rose and Chadwell looking at their coaches. Trips out to the right side, ball is on the left hash. Circle just on the other side of the Grizzly split face. Here's a fake handoff. Chadwell keeps. Chadwell has a nice hole. He might score. He's tracked down, and he'll be pushed out of bounds.
Nolan Harati, rolling Nolan. Got off his block, kind of got sucked in with it. Chadwell got to the outside, but Nolan, that speed on the edge that we got at the corner position with them. Chased him down, saved the touchdown. Not the play Nolan wanted to make, but his play he had to make.
So Circle inside the red zone For the first time in a while, 14-7. Labette only trails by a score with 5 minutes to go in the half. Wind still gusting down there. Beautiful evening here in Altamont. As there's a host of T-Birds on the far side of the field. They're in a bunch formation. They just give it to Rose, a simple counter play. Nearly sheds a tackle, but can't quite do it. But a flag is down in the backfield after Rose was brought down for a gain of 8. As 8 times out of 10, this is going to be on the offense. And it is a hold on Circle.
I don't think I've seen this many flags fly, in a half of football. I mean, I'm sure we'll get the numbers at halftime, but this has been pretty sloppy on both sides, which is to be expected. It's the first week of the season, so hopefully both teams will clean it up as the game goes on.
Speaking of halftime, invite you to stay tuned for our Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show. Get to our other sponsors at the next break. 4:40 first quarter, 14-7, Circle on top. In at running back is Cannon McCormick, along with Rose, so both the lethal halfbacks in there with Chadwell behind the O-line, and Circle forced to burn another timeout, and that will provide us an opportunity to tell you our sponsors for tonight's broadcast. Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Labette Bank, Bartlett Co-op, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Community National Bank, Tank Connection, Wood Insurance Center, USD 506, The Corner Store, and Olson Ace Hardware.
I don't know if I agree with taking the time out there. It's first down. You're probably going to get the ball back before half. First down and 20, so what's really the difference between first and 25 and first and 20 at this point?
Fair point.
Yeah, rather keep that timeout so later, may get a stop, need to burn one to get the ball back.
As they don't have any timeouts remaining, Circle's been forced to burn a few due to some pre-snap confusion. So first down and 20 for the T-Birds at the Labette County 25-yard line. Ball's on the far side of the field. It's a fake handoff up the middle, and they give it to the outside to McCormick. Stays on his feet, keeps going, churning, and he is going to score for the T-Birds. And that'll make it 20-7 as McCormick gets his first touch of pay dirt of the season.
That wasn't him that ran it in earlier, or who was that?
It might have been. I thought it was Rose, but it very well might have been McCormick. They were 33-30, and they looked the same on the field, and I can't always see the second digit on their jersey. So forgive me if I'm mistaken.
No, you're probably right. I mean, I trust your eyes a whole lot better than mine.
I don't. 20-7 Circle on for the extra point. Snap, hold. It's a lot lower kick, not as pretty, but it gets the job done for Tawanda's Evan Swigert, and that'll make it 21-7 Circle. 4:30 to go in the first half. We'll return in 60 seconds on KLKC Parsons.
At Labette Community College, we're passionate about medicine and compassionate about people. Our highly trained instructors provide innovative career-specific education in the field of diagnostic medical sonography. Do you already have an associate or bachelor's degree in healthcare? Earn an additional certification in sonography. LCC offers a 12-month completely online program with a clinical component. In as little as 1 year, specialize in OB, abdomen, or vascular. For more information, text pound SONO to 620-293-6671 today. Apply online at labette.edu.
Day & Zimmerman, one of the largest privately owned companies in the U.S. with operations across the country and internationally. We are comprised of multiple brands that put people to work, protect our freedoms, and improve the world. The Parsons, Kansas location has manufactured munitions for over 50 years for our country's warfighters. Day & Zimmerman has immediate openings for production operators starting at $18.02 an hour on our weekend crew. Work a 12-hour day shift Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and receive 40 hours of pay. We also offer competitive benefits. Apply today.
One Lawrence Holt and number 8,
Cooper Ball kicks it off for Tawanda as Lawrence Holt picks it up, trying to find a gap. Can't quite find one, so he just dives in to a blanket of white jerseys and hits the dirt just across the 25-yard line. Labette County will set up shop there.
Yeah, the ball just kind of bounced and just died, which is, you don't usually see it on kickoffs, but it happens just the way the ball spins, so. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see if they don't scoot him up a little bit more so you can catch it on the run. So, I mean, if you come from a standstill, it's kind of hard to really get any momentum going.
21-7, Circle on top. Labette keeping it respectable after going down 14-0 4 minutes into the game, if I'm not mistaken. I know it was awful quick, but it's definitely slowed down, and credit our Grizzlies for that. Ball's on the right hash. Labette still working the field right to left. Lights are on at Lucas Field. Holtzman fakes the jet sweep, tucks it, and nowhere to go. He'll actually lose a couple. 2nd and a dozen coming for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, so what they've been doing is anytime we motion to a side, they're sending that outside linebacker down to the flat. They're just sending him off the edge, so it really creates a lot of confusion for our offensive line. And what you saw happens, you know, is just unfortunate.
4 minutes even to go. They only say a loss of 1, so 2nd down and 11. See if Labette County airs it out or tries to pound it again. Trips out to the left side. It's Holt, Bates, and Phillips in the order from closest to Kendall to closest to the sideline. Holtzman whips it to Holt, gets by 1, gets by 2, nice move, and is tackled from behind. Ball came out, but his knee was down well before it was stripped. And a decent gain to get past the original line and then some. 3rd down and a long 6 for our Grizzlies with 3:30 to play in the half. You cannot let Circle score again. It cannot be 28-7 going into the locker room.
Nope. Which I'll be interested to see if we don't just try to milk some of this clock down before a kick-in or anything, or if we're just going to go for the 1st down here.
Getting the play is the Grizzly backfield. Jackson and Holtzman both tilting their heads towards their head coaches. Holtzman claps. This is a big play. He steps back. He's going to throw off his back foot. It's caught by Jamal. Can he get there? Yes, he can! Jamal Jackson way out into the secondary. Nothing but green grass. And that's a TD for the LC Grizzlies. 21-13 is the score. JJ turning on the Jets and pounding it in for 6. Labette County doing exactly what they needed to. Big time run by Jamal Jackson.
Great play call to go with the screen there. You knew the Thunderbirds were going to send it heat down, frees up Jamal in space. When you give Jamal space, that stuff happens. Electric play there from Jamal Jackson. And a great block on the outside as well. I didn't see who it was, but it was a great block on the outside to help free him up as well.
If you're watching on our live stream, or if you're not, go to YouTube and type in KLKC Sports and rewind to that play and look at how fast Jamal Jackson is. As the extra point is no good, as it was a low kick and maybe blocked. I couldn't tell. But either way, it's a one-possession game, and you couldn't really ask for anything better, John. 21-13, Labette County, big-time run, or should I say catch and run, from Holtzman to Jamal Jackson. We'll be back in 60 seconds. This is Grizzly football.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. Couples share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Kraus in the house gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at klkcradio.com.
as Tawanda Circle ran back the kickoff for a touchdown, but there's a flag way back at the 37-yard line. Hold your breath if you're a Grizzly fan. That's what we are all doing at Lucas Field. This has to be on Tawanda for Labette County to maintain a respectable score here. 21-13 after a Jamal Jackson catch and run.
Yep, it's just something you can't have, right there. It kind of kills the momentum, kind of dampens the atmosphere of the place. It's just not good. Oh,
it was holding on the Thunderbirds, and boy, it either goes to 28-13, and Labette has to go score again to make it a one-possession game going into the locker room, or that happened, and that needed to happen. Instead, it's still 21-13, and Tawanda goes all the way back to their own 27. That is big.
Yeah, and you could just feel the air get sucked out of the place. So, when he started to get some space, he started running down that sideline. Thank goodness there's a flag, otherwise we could be looking at a whole different ball game.
Without question, as Labette County, sure, they need to maybe smile and laugh a little bit about that, but not for just a moment, as that still means that you gave up a long kickoff return for a touchdown. As this is, without question, the biggest defensive possession for the Grizzlies. One deep safety, it's Kagan Bates in the middle of the field. It's a handoff left side, it's Rose. Runs into his own man, and then is proceeded to be twisted out of bounds. It looks like it was on the far side. That was Cole Stevens on the effort, and Roper Whitley in there as well.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Grizzlies around it, though, so you like to see the hustle of this defensive unit, as there's a timeout by the Grizzlies.
The referee at the middle of the field was signaling to the press box to halt the clock or something, as they're going to reset the clock to 2:15 as the player went out of bounds, as that's good recognition by a really nice referee crew. 2:15, 21-13, Tawanda on top. 2nd and 9 for the T-Birds. As you can hear the Grizzly fans begin to put their palms together. Here's the snap, a fake up the middle and a counter left side, bounding out and getting the first down is the back, McCormick. And that's a big first down for Tawanda, moves the Sticks to their own 40, 2:05, and, well, it stops the clock a first down, but John, Circle has no timeouts.
On the 41-yard line.
Yeah, so, I think they can still run the ball a couple times here with how effective they've been. It's basically just an extension of that short passing game for them with how much they're gaining off of it. But eventually they're going to have to throw the ball, and we haven't seen a lot out of the Thunderbirds throwing the ball so far.
As they really haven't, John. They've scored both touchdowns or all 3 touchdowns on the ground, if I'm not mistaken. And here's another pre-snap flag, delay of game on Tawanda. They have no timeouts, and that's going to back them up 5 with 1:37 on the clock, unless it's incorrect again as the ref is stopping. Okay, it looks like the clock is correct.
After the penalty, we have a timeout.
Okay, that makes sense. Pardon me, everybody. As it was a timeout, Labette County, that makes much more sense now. 1:37 on the clock. It'll be 1st and 15 for Tawanda at their own 35 when we return in 30 seconds on KLKC Parsons.
At Labette Community College, we're passionate about medicine and compassionate about people. Our highly trained instructors provide innovative career-specific education in the field of diagnostic medical sonography. Do you already have an associate or bachelor's degree in healthcare? Earn an additional certification in sonography. LCC offers a 12-month completely online program with a clinical component. In as little as 1 year, specialize in OB, abdomen, or vascular. For more information, text pound SONO to 620-293-6671 today. Apply online at labette.edu.
Welcome back to Lucas Field. First down and 15 for Tawanda. They lead our Grizzlies 21-13. As the refs are having a discussion as the ball is placed on the left hash, Tawanda working the field left to right under the bright lights.
Yeah, I think we've definitely proven, throughout the course of this game so far that we have the superior athletes out there on the outside. It's just that, we don't just quite have that power, that they do. So speed and power meet, it's going to be a pretty good game.
Correct. Here's a pass. We haven't seen this in a while. It's a little slip underneath, and that is he didn't bring him to the ground. As still on his feet is Cannon McCormick, as it was Michael on the finish.
Yep.
And the initial tackler almost brought him down. I didn't see who that was. Taton Claiborne, as it looked like McCormick's knee might have scraped the ground.
Yeah, he's got big old thighs, and Taton couldn't quite get wrapped around him, so.
Taton's a good tackler as well.
Yep.
55 seconds to go. Even if they get to the 1 yard line, I don't care. Let's just get a stop, burn the clock. Here's a run, bouncing outside, bouncing inside. Now sandwiched across midfield is Rose for Tawanda, a 10-yard run and a first down. If it was a first, it should have stopped the clock, and they're not going to give it to him. That's why the clock is running. Third down and a yard. That's actually quite big if you're a Circle or if you're a Grizzly fan.
Yep, get lined up. Come on.
20 seconds, the snap, the give, the run, right side, big hole, hitting the edge. Labette's got to get him, still on his feet, 15 and goes out of bounds with 15 seconds even on the clock as Labette is flirting with the devil here. As it's Rose on the carry all the way to the Grizzly 20 with 15 seconds to go. John, this is closer than I would like it to be.
Yeah, we've definitely got to start setting the edge on the defensive line as Rose just keeps getting to the outside and just gashing us. So Hudson Baker, Matthew Jarman are defensive ends. They got to hold their own out there.
Timeout, Labette County is now Labette County, and their coaching staff perhaps getting just a little tight as they know that it would be so large if they held circle before trotting across the railroad tracks to the locker room. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors one more time for sponsoring tonight's game and broadcast on YouTube and Facebook Live. Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Labette Bank, Bartlett Co-op, Tank Connection, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Community National Bank, USD 506, The Corner Store, and Olson Ace Hardware. Again, remind you to stay tuned for our Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show. As you can hear, Grizzly Nation egging on their defense as Tawanda trots back onto the field. As a year ago, pretty much to the day, this game was 50-0 in Tawanda. Today, 15 seconds to go in the half. It's 21-13 Circle. Vast improvements for our Grizzlies on both sides of the ball. This is a big 15 seconds. Chadwell in the backfield with Rose to his left. Deuces right and left. Here's the snap. It's a pass. He's pushing up the middle, and he's brought down. He loses the football. It's on the deck. Turnover. Labette County has it.
I believe that was Bradley Black in there initially to strip the ball out. And then Hudson came in and recovered the fumble. So nice play right there by Bradley Black. Could have been Matthew Jarman. I saw a 1-0-8 looked similar on the jersey. So either way, they were back there in a hurry. It looks like they were setting up the screen, and they just got there in time. So great play by the Grizzly unit there.
As on our live stream, you can see the camera shake in different sections as the crowd was stomping their feet on the bleachers as they yelled defense. John, there's a different vibe. There's a different atmosphere about Grizzly football this season. 9 seconds. Are they just going to run the clock out or go for it? Holtzman, it's a pass. He's going to try to step into one, and he better just go down before something crazy happens. And they're going to say he threw it in the dirt as, man, Labette County still playing chess with the devil with just 5 seconds to go in the half. And now we can all exhale. If you're at home watching the game, go get a drink, use the restroom, because the score isn't changing. 21-13, Circle Halftime is your score. Feels like a big win for Labette that started out down 14-0 just 4 minutes into the game. We're going to take a 5-minute break and then come back with the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
Welcome back, Grizzly fans, to the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show. Jack Leak with John Kohler on the call. As boy, that was a roller coaster of a first half. A very cliche term, but it did feel like a roller coaster, John. I swear I'm not wrong, I might be, but I remember looking at that scoreboard in the first quarter and it said 8 minutes, and it was 14-0 Circle early. And Labette County just kind of buckled down, had a couple big completions, and it's 21-13 at the break. Circle will open the third quarter with the ball. John, walk me through a short summary in your eyes of that first half.
Yeah, so pretty much, I mean, we just came out and we just got punched in the mouth. They didn't really respond. Just kind of looked dead, you know. Quick 3 and out to start off. Then we led up a 50-some yard touchdown run to what's his name? Chadwell. Chadwell gave one up to him. Got the ball back, 3 and out. Another 50-yard run by Rose. So, yeah, I mean, things looked pretty bleak there to begin with. But then we had 3 straight 3 and outs, you know, really stopping the Thunderbirds right in their tracks. And, you know, our offense scored a touchdown. Nice play from Kendall Holtzman to Kagan Bates. Got another stop. Nice play by who scored our second? Jamal. It was just Jamal, yeah. So the Thunderbirds, they came down, they scored. It was going to happen, right? They've been gashing us all night, but we string some stops together, and that's what we need to do, all right? They're going to score some, but as long as we stay with them, you know, we answer back, you know, this game's going to stay pretty close. But, yeah, nice play by Jamal Jackson there to close the half out. 68 yards touchdown. A screen pass from Kendall Holtzman to him. Nice play by both individuals there as Kendall had to just kind of scramble out there. Had 2 guys around him and made a jump throw. Looking like Patrick Mahomes out there a little bit, threading the needle. So, yeah, I'm excited for the second half, you know. We got explosive players on the outside, so one play, this game could be flipped. Both sides.
Yeah, and something that I don't want to let be forgotten, it was a negative thing, but Labette had to overcome another little ridge of adversity, if you will, is it was 14-0 Circle in the midst of that beatdown, and Labette finally had a drive go their way. A nice 30-so-yard pass to Nolan Nash. The crowd got into it, and then Labette fumbles on the 10-yard line. That's whenever you felt like, okay, that was our chance to kind of keep it tight. Circle's going to go score again. That didn't happen. The score is what it is now, an 8-point game. Labette's overcome a lot, and that defense has looked good, particularly that front 6, and Kagan Bates has done a great job in that secondary. Granted, Circle hasn't really aired it out too much on that final drive whenever they had no timeouts, and you thought, okay, they're going to step back, 2-minute drill, and chuck it. They ran the ball, and they almost succeeded in finding the end zone. First half stats, Kendall Holtzman, 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's quite a first half stat line for Kendall Holtzman, an all-state quarterback last season. A 16-yard touchdown thrown to Kagan Bates on one of the more intricate and
elaborate
X's and O's. Yeah, thank you, John. Whatever you want to call it, play calls that I can remember. It was a really well-drawn-up play. I don't want to rehash what happened, but there was some misdirection, if you will, in the backfield, and Kagan just kind of let himself be found in the flats on the right side and walked in for a 16-yard touchdown. Jamal Jackson had a 68-yard touchdown catch and run from Kendall. Ball was on the far left, or on the near left side of the field, and Kendall had to scramble. It looked kind of like a sloppy screen. I don't actually know if it was a screen or not. I think you called it a screen. But regardless, Jamal was just kind of in the right place at the right time, and give him credit for that. And then it was just the burners from about the 30-yard line to the far end zone for Jamal Jackson. 21-13, Circle on top of Labette County, as you were saying, John.
Well, it looked like a screen the way they got back there so quick. You wonder if the lineman just let them through or something. So, just one of those things. But, yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if, you know, the Thunderbirds threw the ball at all the second half. I expect them to fully just keep pounding the rock, keep attacking the edges. You know, the outside, you know, is where they've had the success. They haven't really had too much success running inside. It's always been the outside of the tackle, sucking our ends in, hooking them. And one of those big gaps, you know, to gash us through. 5:40 until the beginning of the second half.
This has been the first half of our Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show. We'll take a 60-second break and come back with the rest here on KLKC Parsons.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time at halftime, I'd like to again thank our Grizzly LC Booster Club, our VIP backers, Four State Fence, All Seasons Floral and Gifts, Altamont Builder Supply, Altamont Clinic, Bartlett Co-op Association, Bleacher. Vicky Gibbs.
4 minutes until the beginning of the second half, or I guess when the players get back they'll add some time to stretch, I think, so a little bit elongated halftime than what's actually on the scoreboard. But yeah, early on, John, the first play of the whole entire first half was a 46-yard touchdown run from quarterback Connor Chadwell, Tawanda's quarterback. Ran in, untouched, unscathed, open field prairie into the end zone, a 46-yard touchdown rush. Then Labette County had some struggles, shaking some rust off, forced to punt multiple times in a row before they were able to score. And in between then, when it was 7-0, Circle scored on, I think, either their second or third play of the whole game again, and made it 14-0 on a long run. It was either by Weston Rose or Cannon McCormick. So, John, it's been Labette County that's been kind of exposed to some of those long chunk plays compared to Labette County's been more of a long pass, screen pass, short pass run, and Circles kind of opened some of those wounds a little bit more on Labette. So how do you keep an eye out for some of those long halfback runs for Circle?
You just got to set the edge. I mean, you got your interior guys shooting up fast, creating, pressure on the inside, and you have your other guys, they're getting hooked. So, like the left tackle, the right tackle, their first steps to the outside, they're getting that outside hand on the outside shoulder. Our defensive ends, they aren't fighting it, they're just kind of letting it happen like, oh, I get a free lane to the inside. No, you got to stay to the outside. And linebackers, they're getting all sucked in on the inside because they're watching the fake handoffs and misdirections.
You got to stay home.
Yep. Your keys are to watch the pulling guards, right? See that guard and tackle are pulling. You're following them. You follow them, you're going to find the ball. The thing is, too, I know Kagan and Barrett have been doing this tonight, but they need to keep flying up as soon as they see that ball in the hands of McCormick or Rose. Those two guys, you got to fly up and make plays. I fully expect Chris Stevens. I'm sure Coach Preston there lighting a fire on him. He's got to create havoc in there. He's done so little that we've seen flashes of it out there. But if we want to stop the run game, it has to start with him. He's our all-state defensive tackle. He has to be making plays in there.
Sure. Yeah, as this is a Labette County team, for those outsiders potentially listening, I understand that whenever you think of Labette County football, success might not be the first word that comes to mind, but there are some hidden gems on this football team. As you just mentioned, we have all-state quarterback, all-state, defensive end. On the defensive side of the ball, there's some seasoned players. And, yes, we started 5 freshmen last year, which is going to mean you're young again, but that doesn't really mean you're inexperienced again, as they played all last season. When you start 5 freshmen, they're going to be young next year, but on the field, they've already been there, done that for a season. So it's just different that second year. It's just a little bit different, and Labette County has some really, really nice players across this whole roster. And I will tell you a player whom I think has been a very, very quiet MVP, punter Landon Jones. the first punt of the game, things were crazy. There was some confusion, and he had to sprint onto the field and literally get the ball with 0 seconds left on the play clock. And he still punted a nice ball, and he's put Circle in positions that aren't easy. And he's been in positions that aren't easy himself. So Landon Jones has done a nice job placing the ball on the field in the manner in which he wants to. And so it's been good to see Landon transfer from Parsons do well on the field as well. So the buzzer is about to sound here as the clock runs out, but the players are still going to warm up for just a few minutes as Labette County's back on the field, and Tawanda is making their way onto the far side of the field as well to warm up on the south end zone. This has been your Tank Connection, your Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show here on KLKC. Second half action coming up in 3 minutes. Circle 21, Labette County 13. Should be a fun one from Altamont. 3 minutes, we'll return. This is Grizzly Football.
Hi, I'm Shelby, one of the pharmacists at Bowen Pharmacy. Not only do we keep you up to date on your COVID and flu vaccines, but we also offer pneumonia, shingles, hepatitis, meningitis, tetanus, and whooping cough vaccines. Based on the latest CDC guidelines, we can recommend the vaccines to keep you and your family healthy. Thank you for always choosing Bowen Pharmacy. We're here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Second half action just moments away. Welcome back, Grizzly fans, to the broadcast on 106.7 KLKC. Live on YouTube and Facebook on KLKC Sports. 21-13 Tawanda. Labette County will kick off. As John, we said it a couple times to each other, you don't have to get a stop here, but you kind of have to.
Yeah. Like the game, if you let up a score, I mean, there's only 2 scores, and you got a whole half to play.
Sure.
But it's kind of a backbreaker, you know? You got this momentum coming into the second half.
We're right there. Here's the kick from Nolan Nash. his second of the evening. It's caught at the 20-yard line, and here comes Tawanda across the 40. They're going to have nice field position across midfield into the Grizzly territory at the 47. Not the way you want to begin. Special teams unit for Labette has shown a few holes in the system here in this contest.
Yep, you just got to stick in your lane. You know, you get switching these other lanes, it creates gaps. You shoot up hard, you try to fight off the blocks, and if you don't do that, you know, you let up big returns. One thing I'm glad to see, though, there's no longer wedges or wedge busters. You know, it helps improve player safety out there for kickoffs.
That is where the ball is spotted, the Grizzly 47. Hopefully Tawanda doesn't start this half how they did the first one. Here's a fake handoff to the right, and they go left, and it's met at the line of scrimmage. That is Roper Whitley. That is a big-time defensive player. If you are not familiar with Roper Whitley, you will become quickly. Second down and 11. Loss of 1 on the play.
Great tackle by Roper, but what a job by Matthew Jarman on the edge. Just what I said at halftime. You got to hold the edge out there. You know, you have the misdirection. He didn't get sucked in there. He did a great job. Coach Pierce must have done a great job at halftime explaining that to him, because he sure made a play there for his teammate Roper.
Gorgeous evening here in Altamont. Flag hanging a little bit more limp, but still showing some signs of life. 11 minutes to go in the third quarter, 21-13 circle. Here's a similar play up the middle. Not much going yet again for Tawanda. They get back to the original line of scrimmage plus a yard. Third down and 9 for the T-Birds.
I believe it was Roper and Matthew Jarman in on the tackle there. So great job by those two. Chris Stevens also held him up a little bit. So nice play by the All-State defensive tackle.
I'm telling you, there are some really, really good players on this Labette County team. All the way across the board, good athletes and great young men. 10:25, big third down, first circle, empty backfield. We have really not seen that, John. It is just Chadwell in the backfield right on the split face. It's a pass. It's a 5-step drop. Plants his left foot, throws way high, and it is caught. It looked like it was going to be way over his head. He's still on his feet, breaking tackles, still being shifty in the secondary, and is brought down after a massive gain of pushing 30 yards all the way down inside the Grizzly 20 to the 17.
Yeah, I have no clue what happened out there. It looked like a lack of
Weston Rose on the reception.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a good ball, I don't think, but just no one is out there. You know, no one was covering him wide open. Doesn't have to be a good ball then. You know, adjusted to it, made a great play.
First and 10 in the red zone for Circle. They can smell blood. Empty set again. 9:40, third quarter, and a timeout, Labette County. That's an early one to burn in the second half. We will return here in 30 seconds. Tawanda making a drive on KLKC Parsons.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the four-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. Couples share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Crowds in the house get you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere.
Grizzly timeout. They're inside the 20. Same set, 3 right, 2 left. Chadwell, lone man in the backfield behind 5 down linemen. In the middle of the field stands the quarterback. White hat right behind him. Coaching staff gives him the signal. Takes the snap, looks left, that's where he runs. He's going to keep it on the ground. Fakes right and tucks it in as he dives to the left side towards the stick, and he's going to get awful close. That's a good gain of about 9 yards for Chadwell. Second and short for the T-Birds.
Yeah, you know, I hate to say it since we're just so close to the goal line, but I don't think they're going to go 5 wide again. I just don't think they have the room for it, so I think you try to throw some bigger players out there, go with the goal line package here.
They very well might, as they have a nice duo of Weston Rose and McCormick there in the backfield, Cannon McCormick. Yeah, it is empty set again, as now here comes the back, McCormick, to meet him. It's the snap, and they do give it to McCormick, and he's going to get into the secondary and score.
Into the end zone.
As Cannon McCormick, good call, John, pounds it in, and Circle goes back up 27-13 with the extra point approaching 8:51 third quarter.
Yep, I don't think we expected them to go 5 wide. I don't think we practiced for it and it's showing here, so I'm sure the coaches are going to get the defense together on the sidelines and try to figure this thing out. Well, that means you go with a dime package with the extra DB, or you just throw a linebacker out there, hope you guys can get some pressure and help your guys out in the coverage-wise.
Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is good. Just skimmed over the crossbar. 28-13 the score with 8:51 to go in the third quarter, and with about the same amount of time to go in the first quarter, Labette trailed by 14. Now with the same amount of time, they trail by 15. We'll see if they can make another push here in 60 seconds on KLKC Parsons.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Lawrence Holt and Jamal Jackson back deep to return for the Grizzlies, fresh off of a Circle touchdown. High kick goes into the gut of Lawrence Holt on the far side of the field. Runs into a host of players. As the players reacted as if Holt lost the football, but it doesn't appear that he did, and decent field position coming up for Holtzman and company just across their own 30.
Yep, now we have to answer back. I don't think a third and out is an option here, you know, the way the Thunderbirds just marched right down the field. So Kendall Holtzman, that mature Kendall Holtzman we've been talking about, right? Needs to lead another drive here, get our guys going, punch one in, get back on defense, get a stop.
Obviously, we said they didn't have to get a stop to open. You know, you're down 15 with plenty of time to go, but it just certainly feels different, especially after the way Labette closed out that first half in such a positive manner. Jackson will be the halfback, per usual, behind Holtzman. 6 down lineman for the Grizzlies. Holt in motion. The safety tries to track it down. It's a pass, a throw to the seam. Bates catches it in the secondary and falls down across the 50. That's another beautifully ran play by the Grizzlies. Kagan Bates is so fun to watch.
Yeah, it was a great adjustment by Bates there. It wasn't a great ball by Kendall. If the DB turned his head, it probably would have been an interception, if we're being honest. So Kendall knows that. But he probably also saw, I'm going to be honest, I think Kendall just was smart and saw the back of his head, so he threw it. So most of the time with these high school guys, they don't turn their head. So great play there.
Labette County making their way across enemy lines. Circle's going to send some here, and it's caught on the far side by Nolan Nash. Tucks it with the right hand, and a good 8-yard gain for Nolan Nash. We have an injured T-Bird down right on the nose of the Grizzly at midfield. Kendall Holtzman comes to check on the injured Circle T-Bird. Is that 30 or 38, John?
30.
Looks like number 30. Cannon McCormick.
He's already up and on the sideline. Maybe wind knocked out. I don't know.
As he certainly seems to be okay. He's being tended to on the far side of the sideline. as both players went to go get in huddles, and now the refs are signaling them to get back in play as McCormick is all right. Second and short for Labette. 7:56 third quarter, 28-13, Circle on top. Labette moving the ball.
I'll be surprised if we don't try to take a shot here to someone. Probably just going to run the ball here. Some quarterback run with Kendall, probably, from the way it looks.
Jackson the back. Barrett Heston just behind the left guard. Here's a counter left side. Jackson with room gets the first down and more. Tackled from behind just around the calves, and he'll get to this 27 of Circle. And that's good to see if you're a Grizzly fan. Really nice production on the ground.
Yep, attack the edge. All right, we can't have Jamal going in the middle. He gets sucked up, doesn't have room to make his moves. He gets the edge, he can use the speed, turn it up, and for productive gains there.
First down and 10, moving the sticks are Labette on their first possession of the second half, trying to make it a one-score game. An ugly snap and not a good play from the jump. Jackson smoked in the backfield for a loss of 6, as that just didn't feel right from the snap.
Yeah, I don't want to criticize anything, but we ran a play, it had success. Then we get onto the ball, we hustle, and we flip it, and we run it the other way. Right, this is high school ball. You can maybe get away with it, maybe can't, but as you saw there, it didn't turn out too good. But still, nevertheless, we're in a position to go make a play here.
2 right, 2 left. Ball in the middle of the field. Jackson wearing green cleats behind Holtzman wearing red. White stripes. He takes the snap, drops back, throws to Jackson, and it's caught. It looked like he dropped it for a moment, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage as Holtzman backpedaled all the way to the 40-yard line. So it's 3rd down and 15 for Labette County.
Yeah, I think you have to go with your best play here, or you're throwing it up to Xavier Phillips here on the edge. It's one of the two. I don't see us going any other way. I don't think we're going to try a screen. They're probably ready for it.
As it's Holt, Bates, and Phillips here on the near side in kind of a trio formation. Bates heels on the 35-yard line. Holt just behind him. Here's Holtzman, rolls out, squares up, throws across the middle, and it is caught! Xavier Phillips inside the 10. Can he get there? No, he can't. He's just a few yards shy. A very nice job by Kendall to plant that back foot and fire it on a rope. 1st and goal, Labette at the 3.
Yep. Just going to get up and sneak it right here. No reason not to. Never mind.
Xavier Phillips, the leading receiver returning on the team, catches a big-time crossing pattern there down to the 3-yard line. Holtzman under center. It's a QB sneak. Pushing. The pile is in! TDLC Grizzlies. 28-19 is the score. Extra point coming up. It looks like they're going to go for 2 to try to make it a one-score game. Grizzly Nation rises to their feet. That is a great drive, and they needed to have it, and Kendall Holtzman gets it done in the air and on the ground. Call him FedEx.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that one yet.
Me neither. I surprise myself sometimes, not always in a good way, John.
It's all right. That's why we got our lovely sponsor, Eye Care Associates of Parsons. They'll always be here for you, Jack.
That's exactly right. 2 out left, 2 out right. Jamal behind Kendall. This is huge as it makes it a one-score game. It's a little bit of a high snap, throws off his back foot to the corner. It's intercepted. They're going to have to bring him down, and they're just going to blow the play dead. But Labette County needed that 2-point conversion to make it a one-score game, and now they slowly drag themselves back to the sideline. But they did make a long drive to score a touchdown.
Yeah, we had the play, had them just not a good ball by Kendall there. If you're going to throw an out route, it's got to be high outside. This is where only your guy can get it. You can't throw it low inside. Only time you want to throw low inside for a good spot to miss is a slant or an in pattern. Has to be high outside on the outside. Has to.
Still, Labette and Kendall Holtzman responded. That's 3 touchdowns for Kendall, 2 on the air, 1 on the ground. 28-19. Circle is your score. 5 minutes, 3rd quarter. We'll return in 30 seconds. This is Grizzly football.
Everybody is different. Some get injured, while others simply wear down. Whether it's on the court, on the field, or at the gym, Labette Health's orthopedic and sports medicine team has the training and skill to repair, restore, and renew. We share the same goal, and together we'll write your comeback story. For more information about Southeast Kansas' leading orthopedic and sports medicine team, go to labettehealth.com.
Nash.
You can hear Grizzly fans rumbling the bleachers as it's a little pooch kick that lands about the 32-yard line in the arms of the T-Bird. Twisting down to the ground is Justin Andrews.
On the kickoff return,
Almost gets to the 45-yard line of their own.
No. I think that one's going to be on Barrett. He kind of shoved him after the play. Who knows? It could be on the T-Birds. I don't think Barrett's someone to usually, start that kind of thing, but
flag came in.
Second one gets caught, so.
Flag was thrown is what John's alluding to, as Labette County's convinced it's on circle. Imagine that. As for sure, hopefully it is. It's unsportsmanlike conduct on circle. How could you ever doubt Barrett Heston like that, John? You know he's not a guy like that. Come on now.
I'm sorry. I just saw it with my own two eyes. Maybe there's some words exchanged. I don't know. I saw a little push.
4:55 third quarter, 28-19 circle will have the ball now backed up at their own 28-yard line. This stingy Labette County defense has given up 28 points, but it feels weird saying that because they played much better than that, it certainly feels like.
Yeah, definitely a much improved group from those last year's performance. So
it was 50-0 a year ago in Tawanda, and I understand pieces have changed, but that goes to say on both sides of the ball for us and them. As Hudson Baker is a down lineman on this play. There's 3 down linemen and 3 linebackers behind them. They're showing blitz. Now they get a new play call in from the far side. Chadwell is the only player, of course, the quarterback in the backfield.
Good call. They shift the defense over.
Here comes the back. It's Rose. They fake to Rose. Chadwell keeps it, tries to stretch it. It's going to have to be an open field push out of bounds, and it is. A nice job on the far side of the field
Nolan
Arati, as it will be. As there is a flag on the play, as Chadwell throws his arms up in disgust, assuming it's on Tawanda, and it is a hold on the T-Birds.
Is it Arati or Harati? I always call him Roland Nolan, so I don't ever say the last.
I think the H is 50% silent, so you're never wrong. Just
fair.
Barely throw the H in there. Arati,
That's fine. That's fine. People know who we're talking about. We don't. There's no one else who uses the name.
We do want to get it right, so if you do know, let us know. But that's just how I've always said it. 28-19, circle on top. 4:46 third quarter. It's Rose and Chadwell in the backfield behind the 5 down linemen. Here's the snap and another pre-snap penalty. Chadwell has both hands on his navy blue helmet, and it's at offsides, though, on Labette County. So he's not very justified in his actions, as throwing his palms to the heavens is Labette County's defensive lineman, Michael Reed. I'm assuming it might have been on Michael based off of his body language. So kind of a slow roll here after both teams scored on their opening drive of the third quarter. No rhythm since Labette County's last touchdown. Kendall Holtzman ran it in. Let's see if we can get some momentum going here for somebody. Here's a snap. Here's a pull. No, he gives it to the back. Does Chadwell. It's Rose up the middle for a gain of 5. And after all that, we have 2nd down and 10 from the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, nice play there for the Grizzly defense. Finally standing up to that, the ground game of the Thunderbirds. That was number 33 for the Thunderbirds, kind of chucks off his helmet on the sideline. Maybe some frustration starting to set in for this Thunderbird offense.
Empty set again, 2 left and trips to the right side. Kagan Bates playing safety. Chadwell, the quarterback, claps his hands and takes the snap. Labette County brings pressure. He flings it left side and diving for it, but not getting there in time is Drew Berryman. Incomplete, 3rd down and 10 for Circle with 3:54 stopped on the clock.
Yeah, so right there, Kagan is so far back. I think Kagan's still a little bit confused about whether he's in zone or man. When they go 5 wide, I don't think we have enough guys to where we can go throw zone. Our linebacker's a little bit confused out there, so it's either Kagan's in his zone or he's lined up going solo man on man.
Nolan Arati, Matthew Jarman, and Nolan Nash, the corners on each receiver. Kagan Bates comes up from the safety spot to take the slot on the left side. Here's a deep throw across the middle, and it is in and out of the hands of Cannon McCormick, as it was a fantastic pass that really should have been caught, but what made it difficult was the Grizzly defender that flew in front of him right before he caught it.
Barrett Heston.
Yeah, Barrett Heston.
Kind of misread it, though, and as we have a Thunderbird down. Was that McCormick?
Oh, it's McCormick again. I wasn't really paying attention. As McCormick, man, he's been on the battlefield tonight, to say the least. He's quite the athlete, but Labette County, assuming Circle punts, is going to get the ball back, down just 9. We'll return and wish the best for McCormick here in 30 seconds on KLKC Parsons.
My name is Bria, and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds.
Actually assisted off
At
the
Bowen
field,
Pharmacy
so
and
that's
Bowen
not something anybody wants to see, a great athlete or anybody like that have to be assisted off the field. We wish the best for the senior T-Bird. Meanwhile, back to punt for the T-Birds is Coy Stevens. Back to return is Nolan Nash, I do believe, for Labette County. Quite the athlete is the Nash freshman.
Oh.
Here's a high snap. It's going to go towards the end zone, and he's going to be tackled, presumably. Presumed he's going to be tackled.
Thank you.
And he's finally brought down at the 20. If I could speak, that would help paint the picture. But oh well, Labette County has the ball at the Circle 21-yard line. As my goodness, that is quite the mistake for the T-Birds, and Labette County is now deep in the throat of Circle territory, looking to get real close to Circle's 28 points.
Yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. He really should have been down at the 4-yard line or so.
Yeah.
We would have just had a nice, easy walk into the end zone, so that could be a costly mistake here if we can't get points on the board. But anyways, nice. I mean, we caught a break there, so we got to definitely take advantage of that.
3:30 to go in the third quarter. Labette County with a gift from Tawanda. Circle 28, Labette 19, as we're going to have some movement on the fronts, as this game is certainly getting more intense by the second, as the referee says that it's going to be a encroachment on Tawanda, so that gets Labette a little bit closer to the goal line. That'll put it at about the 16. As this would be huge if Labette could score here, John. 3:37 to go. I'm so used to basketball games and saying the clock every 5 seconds, but I guess that's a good habit. Here's Bates in motion. They fake to him. They go to the end zone, and it is caught! Touchdown! LC Grizzlies! It is Xavier Phillips on the left pylon.
What a ball. What a catch from Xavier Phillips, the 6'4 senior. Didn't play football until last year. Made some plays, though, and he's making plays tonight. What a catch by the senior.
As boy, is that exciting, not just for this game that Labette is very much so in, but for the rest of the season. Labette County's receivers have length on these corners, and I expect them to in each game this season. That is going to be fun to watch. Labette County 28, Circle 28, Labette 25. Nolan Nash on for the extra point. It would be nice to boot this through, make it a 2-point game, and a field goal would win it should it come down to it. Nash with a nice kick. It is good. Nolan Nash gets it done. Kendall Holtzman with his 4th touchdown of the night, his 3rd pass. Xavier Phillips, big-time snag in the end zone. Circle 28, Labette County 26. 3:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. Labette's defense is going to try to grind out another drive in 1 minute on KLKC.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
After the kickoff, Circle will set up shop on their own 34-yard line as the tension is definitely starting to set in on the Circle sideline, and just the opposite is taking place here below us on Labette County's part of the field. As boy, there is some energy and definitely some potential energy at that should Labette County get a stop here. Here's a handoff to Rose up the left side, and he's ripped to the ground. He's not going to get anywhere. They're going to say 0 is the gain. Multiple Grizzlies. John, who all was in there on that effort?
Chris Stevens and Cole Stevens. The 2 Stevens are in there. They made a nice play there. Cole has surprised me tonight. You know, he's only $180. He's in there making plays. You know, I saw something earlier this week. Chance March, All-State defensive tackle. Starting to look like him there, you know. Cole Stevens, I'm seeing some flashes, you know. Which we've always had the smaller nose tackles and stuff we use, so I think he's just next in the line of those guys.
2:50, 3rd quarter. Man in motion is Berryman. He'll settle in the left slot. Now he'll come back to where he once was. Here's a keep by Chadwell. It's snuffed out. Labette County's front 6 putting on a clinic here at Lucas Field. 3rd down and 11. Labette County's defense has some swagger.
Was that Roper Whitley in on the play there, or was that Big Chris?
I think both.
Everybody. We'll just give everyone
everybody.
credit. Yeah.
As we have another T-Bird cramping up, I'm assuming. As boy, there's been some T-Birds with. I'm no athletic trainer or doctor, but by the way they've been approaching it, some tightness in the lower extremities. That's about as broad of a term as you can say, but. Yeah, that's my best guess with what is taking place here below us. It's going to be Drew Berryman coming to his feet quickly and walking off under his own power as Coach Price walks back to the sideline, pretty juiced up. He waves to the crowd to get amped up and even flexes just a little bit. As before that 2nd down play, Kagan Bates and Roper Whitley had some swagger to them. They looked at Labette's fans, and now they start to do it again. They wave for Grizzly Nation to get on their feet. It's 3rd down and 11. Labette lost to this team 50-0 a year ago, and it's a 2-point ball game with a quarter to go. Still 2:30 to go in this one, 3rd quarter. Here is the quarterback, flings it far side, open field tackle is gonna be made short of the 1st down line. On the reception is Nick Ailes. or no, pardon me, 17. Jackson Strecker, not 7. So 4th down and 5, and on comes the punt team. Labette County gets a stop, and should everything go right on special teams, Labette County will have a chance to take the lead on offense.
Yeah, you cannot just commend this defensive unit and the coaching staff for making the adjustments. Coach Price, the defensive staff, they've done a great job adjusting on the fly here.
I'm assuming our camera's probably shaking again as the crowd is getting pretty rowdy below us. Lawrence Holt catches the punt, tries to split white jerseys and can't quite do it, but still field position in which they are used to, just across their own 20, about that 80-yard drive to take the lead.
Yeah, I know some people aren't a fan, probably are sitting there saying, why is he catching that ball? Why is he catching the ball? Why is he not getting away from it? Well, if you have a guy like Lawrence who can go catch those balls, it's so huge for a team. You're saving all those yards from not letting the ball bounce or anything.
Sure.
It really helps your drive. I mean, your offensive drive. You're not all the way back there.
Absolutely.
Just having a guy that can go, set under the ball, and catch it, you know? Truly an underrated skill set for a player to have.
Absolutely. You don't know how vital it is until you aren't good at it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, man, I wish we could have a good punt return team. But, man, yeah, Labette County's got some good ones. Who would have thought Labette County has the ball, minute left in the third quarter to go take the lead here potentially. Holtzman flings it, caught by Holt. What a catch, as he had to catch it with his bare hands right behind him. Acrobatic snag by Lawrence Holt, gain of maybe a short 6, 2nd down and 4, we'll call it.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do here. I honestly feel like we're going to run the ball. But I could understand if we take a shot here. It's 2nd, and you could probably get it on 3rd down. We're throwing the ball pretty good enough, so why not take a shot? You trust your quarterback, do it. But I think we're just going to be safe here and run the football.
2nd and 4, they do call it. Here's the snap. Jackson, right-hand counter, sheds one tackle, sheds another. Jackson into the secondary, shallow secondary, gain of 10, and that's enough for a Grizzly 1st down. Jamal Jackson was given a crease to work with, but that was a lot of credit to Jamal Jackson right there. That was a great run.
Yeah, he was running like a man possessed there, just shaking off the Thunderbirds left and right. He was not wanting to go down, and it sets the Grizzly up with a new set of downs.
30 seconds and running. 1st and 10 Labette at their own 35. It's Holt and Nash on the far side near the T-Bird sideline as Labette's working right to left, and Bates and Phillips on the near side, both in single coverage. Holtzman looking for Phillips, wide open, catches at the 45 and then is brought down. That's a gain of 8, and that is just simple and easy. Tawanda, that was a 10-yard cushion on Phillips. He just ran a little slant and was wide open, and that is going to take us to the 4th quarter as all of Labette County's sideline holds up 4 fingers to signal the 4th and final quarter is approaching. Both teams will flip ends, and here after this 1-minute break, it will be Labette County ball near midfield, down just 2 points to a team they lost to a year ago by 50. 1-minute break here on KLKC Parsons.
Day & Zimmerman, one of the largest privately owned companies in the U.S. with operations across the country and internationally. We are comprised of multiple brands that put people to work, protect our freedoms, and improve the world. The Parsons, Kansas location has manufactured munitions for over 50 years for our country's warfighters. Day & Zimmerman has immediate openings for production operators starting at $18.02 an hour on our weekend crew. Work a 12-hour day shift Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and receive 40 hours of pay. We also offer competitive benefits. Apply today.
Labette County takes the snap on a big 2nd down play. Holtzman launches it deep, and it is going to be nearly intercepted.
For number 1, Lawrence Holt.
as it was underthrown as Holtzman was feeling courageous and flung it deep for Lawrence Holt, and it hit the gut of Connor Chadwell. I believe that's the quarterback out there playing DB. Yes, it is. So 3rd down and 2 coming up for Labette on their own 45. Holtzman took another deep shot there. He's had some ones that have paid off, but that one almost was the opposite. Bates and Nash on the near side, a freshman and a sophomore. Here's Jackson. He's swallowed up mightily, and they're going to say he lost about a half a yard, so 4th down and 3 for Labette County. And boy, what do you do here, John? Down 28-26, 11:30 to go in the ball game. 4th and 3. If you don't get it, Circle has the ball on your side of the field.
I think he's setting out the punt unit. I mean, I honestly don't. We have enough time. I think strategically this is probably your best move, but you know, if it doesn't turn out and they go down and score, you're going to be kicking yourself in the gut, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, either way, if they get the ball on the 45 or the 25 on the other end, your defense has to stop them. An end over end for Landon Jones. Another nice punt, takes a Grizzly roll, and we're going to have roughing the kicker, I do believe, on Tawanda's Coy Stevens. As I look up and I see Landon Jones on the ground and a flag laying right next to him, as Stevens kind of threw his hands up in the air as he looked back at the white hat while running to the sideline. As, boy, this is big time.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Was it right after the kick, or was it?
I think it was after the kick. Here, I'm going to look at
how far after?
I'm going to look at our live stream here. As
If
well,
it's
that was
after,
well after the
yeah,
kick. So
it should not be a flag there.
Right. As they are discussing.
Looks like there's 2 flags on the play.
Oh.
If you heard the PA announcer, Chris Kassler, there's 2 flags on the play. I didn't see the second one, as it's got to be back where the punt was fielded at the Circle 27. So this is an interesting scenario here. 1 flag down back where Landon Jones hit the deck well after he punted the football, and another, I'm assuming, on the far side of the field by where the punt was fielded. All 4 refs having a conference. This will give us a moment to thank a few of our sponsors. Stay tuned for our Bowen Pharmacy post-game show. Other sponsors include Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Labette Bank, Bartlett Co-op, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Community National Bank, Tank Connection, Wood Insurance Center, USD 506, The Corner Store, and Olson Ace Hardware. As Labette County's offense comes sprinting onto the field, chest bumping their defensive unit that is coming off the field. So I would assume that's not bad. I'm still quite confused on the situation.
I don't know. We'll find out here in a minute.
As Labette County got an explanation and started jumping for joy, and now the White Hats over talking to Coach Clothier.
Are we going to get the first down or not? That's my question. We should. Yes.
Okay, so
looks like it'll be 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies on their own 45-yard on the Circle.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 Labette County on the Circle 45-yard line. Now, John, something you have to look out for is the loose monster. He's someone that starts to prowl when you get a little bit over your head. Not something that you're capable of, but we saw Kendall throw a 40-yard pass to Lawrence off his back foot that should have been picked off.
Yeah.
You know, maybe getting a little bit too loose. You got to keep that right amount of formality in situations like this.
Know when to take your shots. Know when to take your shots, you know. He's seasoned for this. He should know better than that.
The call was roughing the kicker.
That's
confirmed by the PA announcer, getting the signal from the referee. 10:57 to go in the ball game. Labette 26, Circle 28. Grizzlies with it in circle territory. Bates in motion. It's a pass. Holtzman, 3-step drop, scrambles right side, throws across his body. It's a good one. It's
goodness.
It's back to the left. Touchdown.
Wow.
Grizzlies. Kendall Holtzman crosses his hands across his knees as he's sitting on the ground looking at Grizzly fans cheering, standing, and screaming. Nolan Nash, 45-yard TD for the LC Grizzlies. 32-28, Labette County on top of Tawanda.
I think we'll gladly accept, one of the celebration, unsportsmanlike one here. What a ball.
Gorgeous pass
that play
from
is going to be
Kendall
talked
Holtzman.
about for a long time. On the run, you've never seen anything like it. I mean, that's just elite arm talent at its finest.
As we have an injured Grizzly down on the goal line, as I went that whole time without seeing the injured player down there in line with the goalpost. I can't confirm the identity.
I think it's Nolan Nash.
As we got confirmation from a staff member of the PA room, Kagan Bates is presumably the player who's down, potentially cramping. We've seen a few of those here this evening, but we certainly hope that his condition is okay. As he's being tended to, we'll go ahead and step aside for a 30-second break. Grizzlies took the lead here on KLKC Parsons.
Everybody is different. Some get injured, while others simply wear down. Whether it's on the court, on the field, or at the gym, Labette Health's orthopedic and sports medicine team has the training and skill to repair, restore, and renew. We share the same goal, and together we'll write your comeback story. For more information,
Kendall Holtzman to Nolan Nash for a 45-yard touchdown, sets up Labette for the 2-point conversion. Here's the pass, here's the catch, and here's the success! LC Grizzlies get it in for the 2-point conversion. Fist bumps, chest bumps, all kinds of bumps on Labette County sideline. 34-28 is the score. 10:45 to go in the game. Nothing but joy for Grizzly Nation at the moment. Still a long ways to go, but John, this is a team that has done everything you could ask for in the second half after giving up a drive on the first defensive possession.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of left speechless by that throw from Kendall Holtzman, but this whole team, coaching staff, everybody, we know we're going to win this game, right? That's the attitude right now. We know we're going to win. Now, I'm not going to try to jinx this. I'm going to knock on wood, but right now that's what the Grizzlies are thinking. Now they got to buckle down and go finish the job.
Right.
Right? You can't get too ahead of yourself. In the same breath, go finish the job. Go play great defense. Get the ball back. Go punch one in. Run the ball down their throat and just get out of here. You know, it's just one of those things. Just do your job. You know, you got to take care of the rock. Make stops. Make tackles. Don't play too reckless. Just get the job done.
Dominic Sawyer and number 7, Nick Ailes. Kicking off for the Grizzlies.
This game was 28-13. This game was 28-13 with 9 minutes to go, just under, in the third quarter. It's 34-28 Grizzlies with 10:45 to go in the game now. Set to kick off for Labette County, Nolan Nash. Teed up at the 40. Another little pooch kick to the 35. It's caught, fielded, and dashed across to the 43, and then he's brought down. That's the T-Bird, Jay Bonewitz.
By Roper Whitley. Great play.
Roper Whitley.
Same thing goes for the defense.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier to play cocky and loose when you're on the defense because there's less structure and more harassment, but still, you don't want to jump, you don't want to jump the gun. You still need to stay home, go through your progressions as a defender, and get the job done. The time to celebrate is in 10 minutes and 40 seconds should you win, not now.
Yep, if Roper's not calling stuff out, Kagan Bates needs to take that leadership role. He's a captain. He needs to talk to his guys, let them know what's going on.
Here's the snap to Chadwell. Rolls out to the right side. Pressured firmly in the face. Has to revert course. He has a man wide open, but he doesn't see him. He'll throw it to the far side. It's caught at the 45, and a nice open field tackle right at midfield by Lawrence Holt. It was Nick Ailes on the reception. Nice job by Connor Chadwell to extend that play, but a really nice pressure by Matthew Jarman.
Yeah, what should have been a sack by Matthew Jarman, unfortunately, slipped, got a stiff arm. It happens, all right? But nice tackle by Lawrence Holt. Great open field tackle there. I know Coach Brown is up in his booth celebrating that one because I'm sure they practiced that one quite a bit.
2nd and 4 for Tawanda. Ball spotted right at midfield on the right hash. Circle working the field right to left. Little bit of wind still blowing. Circle working into the southeast breeze. Chadwell with Rose shifting from his right to left hip. 2 receivers on the near side in solo coverage. Nolan Arati and Kagan Bates are the corners here. Rose flanks out to the right side, catches it in the flat, and he's twisted out of bounds, but not before picking up the first down. That will move the sticks for Circle. And sometimes, John, what happens in sports in general is sometimes a team will start to play tight like Tawanda did, and then once they give up the lead, they feel like they can play loose again. So don't be shocked should Tawanda go score here.
Yeah, definitely. As you can see there, they're starting to move the ball a little bit. Great plays by Conrad back there, or Chadwell. I don't know if I said Conrad. Connor Chadwell helps set his guys up.
His brother Cooper, I do believe that was his brother's name, was the starting quarterback last season. Here's Connor, though, rolling out to the right, pressured from the front. Back front again, and he's pile-driven to the ground. Roper Whitley on the sack, wanting some love from Grizzly Nation, and he receives it. 2nd and 13 for Circle, near midfield yet again.
For the Thunderbird.
I can't say enough about Roper Whitley. You know, he started as a freshman, played last year. Defense wasn't that good. But now he's starting to step up and be a true force on that side of the ball.
8:20 to go in the game. Heck, I forgot about the time for a moment, John. Forgive me if I didn't say how much time was left, but that's been the least of my concerns at the moment. Here's a run, open field, left. He cuts it up to the right, tries to hit the sideline again and gets the first down and then some. The back on that play was McCormick.
Got some laundry down by the 50.
I did not see the flag near midfield, as if it was an outside hold on Tawanda, that would be huge.
I think that's got to be the call there. Either that or a crackback block on Jarman right there. I don't know what the call would be, though.
It's a hold on Tawanda. There is some spunk and swagger here at Lucas Field. Still 8 minutes to play, and you're playing a great football team that's very talented. But at least at the 8-minute mark on September 1st, there's a lot of swagger in Lucas Field right now.
Yep, I think if the defense goes out here, shuts them down, gets off the field, doesn't let up a big play or nothing, and we go score, I think you start looking forward to Parsons next week. That game's looming over this.
John, you obviously haven't broadcast long enough, because that's kind of a dangerous statement to make. As here's a nice play blown up in the backfield. Multiple Grizzlies in there on the efforts, as that's a loss of 1, maybe a gain of nothing on the play.
Yep, I mean, Roper Whitley's got my back apparently, as he made another great play in the backfield there, so. Maybe I am talking a little reckless. I don't know. I'm just really excited about what this Grizzly team is doing on the field tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, like I said, this Circle team is a very talented, very good team that obviously punched us in the mouth last season and could still walk out of here with a win tonight without, you know, that's obvious they could still do that with the amount of time left. But Labette County definitely in a favorable position to get out of here with the win of their own. And boy, would that be big for this crew that's worked so hard and been so doubted for much of their young careers. As I believe we had a timeout on the field. I didn't see who called it. Both teams have 2 remaining. 7:25 to go in the game. Circle 28, Labette 34. 3rd down and 20 for Circle at their own 40. We'll be back in 30 seconds on KLKC Parsons.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
Here's Chadwell on 3rd and 20, scrambling to the right side, keeping his head up, throws across his body. It's caught. Gain of just 8. 4th down and 13 coming up for Tawanda. What do you do with 7 minutes left at midfield, 4th and 13?
You got to punt here for Tawanda. I don't think there's any chance you go for it unless you just feel like our offense is just so unstoppable. It's like, if you give us the ball, we're going to go score. In that case, if you feel that way, you got to go for it. But surprised with what they're doing here. I'm surprised they don't just drop back and punt.
As they are going to go for it. Here's Chadwell. Big 4th down. Throws across the middle. It's overthrown. Incomplete. Labette County's going to take over on downs in Tawanda territory. Just on this side of the 45-yard line. 6:41 to go on the clock. Labette 34. Circle 28. Big stop for that Grizzly D.
Yeah, it looked like Michael Reed got through there and applied some pressure before it would be taken out by the lineman. And it was just an errant ball by Chadwell back there, and Lawrence Holt was the closest defender there. I don't think if he threw it on the money, it would have been caught anyways, because Lawrence Holt was all over the receiver. So as the Grizzly offense trots back out here, they'll be sure to do their best job of maintaining possession of the ball, taking some time off the clock before giving the ball back.
Labette's on a 21-0 run. They've scored 21 unanswered points. Here's Jamal Jackson up the middle with a little bit of room. Pyle drives ahead for a healthy gain of 5.
Yep, nice job up front by the lineman there, giving him the gap to explode through. Looks like we can finally start to establish the ground game as this Thunderbird defense starting to soften up a little bit from all the deep shots and the passing game.
As they only give him 4, 2nd down and 6 for the Grizzlies, working the field left to right. Ball spotted near the left hash, might be on it, as it is on the left hash. In motion is Holt. Holtzman takes the snap, fakes to Holt, keeps himself, and he's going to be dumped in the backfield by 5 or 6 Circle Thunderbirds. So it will be 3rd down and a good 14-13 at midfield for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't a flag there at the end. It looked like one of the guys just came and dove in there on Kendall. I'm surprised there wasn't something. Maybe he just tripped or something, but definitely a missed opportunity for the Grizzlies there to have a great gain on 1st down. Then you don't do your job on this next down. Something happens, and that happens. So.
You have Nolan Nash here at the bottom of your screen if you're on the live stream. If not, he's just in front of us near his teammate's sideline as he's in single coverage. As he was going to look over there for Nash, as right as he threw it, the play was blown dead. Timeout Labette County with 5:04 to go. We'd like to thank our sponsors once again for making tonight's broadcast possible. Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Labette Bank, Bartlett Co-op, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Community National Bank, Tank Connection, Wood Insurance Center, USD 506, The Corner Store, and Olson Ace Hardware. And again, invite you to stay tuned into the postgame show brought to you by Bowen Pharmacy. Again, 5:04 to go in the contest. 34-28, Labette in front. It'll be 3rd down and 13. Ball spotted just on this side of the 50-yard line. As Labette, 4 minutes into the first quarter, was down 14-0. 4 minutes into the third quarter, was down 28-13. And now, with 5 minutes to go in the game, they lead 34-28. Quite a sequence for our Grizzlies, but still, as we must keep rehashing, 5 minutes to go, and Tawanda very well might get the ball back here momentarily should you not convert. Lot of ball game left. Here's Jackson behind Holtzman, takes the snap, immediately rolls out to his right side, throws, and it is caught and bobbled and then caught again, but he's going to be well short of the first. I say well short, that's just a couple yards. Nolan Nash on the reception, he caught it, lost it as he was falling down, and then regained control.
I think...
As there is a flag on
pass
the play.
Potentially, yeah.
Goodness, man, there's been a lot of flags in this contest. We'll see as they're conversing yet again. T-Bird coaching staff have their arms stretched out wide, wondering what's going on. As now the Labette coaching staff is going to get an explanation.
Yep, pass interference out here. That's what they're talking about. They just made the hand gesture to the coaches.
Some of the T-Bird secondary players are clapping. All kinds of mixed signals. Anytime there's a penalty, one side thinks it's on the other.
Oh. Are they going to try to get offensive pass interference? I didn't quite see what happened when no one tried to make his break.
Not too sure, but the only coach they've talked to is Coach Price.
Oh, no.
It's going to be pass interference on Circle.
Oh, okay.
It is on Circle.
So we'll just take that, have 3rd down again, and then... Okay.
As the referee's going to step off the penalty, and that'll spot the ball at the Tawanda 35, and it will be a 1st down and 10 for Labette County. Sure, I mean, man, there have been some penalties in favor of Labette County. I'm not saying they weren't penalties. I'm saying they were in favor of Labette County, and that's a fact.
Yeah, and sometimes that's just what happens,
correct,
you know, is just
correct.
Penalties. You may think it's just being called one-sided, but it just happens that way.
And it's been hard for these corners to guard our receivers, so that's a well-credited and well-earned flag there by Nolan Nash, who's been fantastic. His debut at the high school level, Nolan Nash has been outrageous. 34-28, big drive. Jamal Jackson around the left blocks. Can he get there? Not quite. Churning his legs. Loss of 2 on the play for Jamal Jackson. 2nd and a dozen with 4:45 and counting to go in the game. Labette leads by 6.
Yeah, I mean, you got to run the ball. You got to. I mean, I don't think short pass maybe set up another screen. I don't think they're going to be ready for a screen right here. Who knows? Just kind of see what happens. Feel it out. Coach Price has a lot of experience. I'm sure he's going to make the right decision.
2 receivers to the right. Ball is in the middle of the field exactly. It's Nolan Nash and Lawrence Holt in single press coverage. 2 shallow safeties. Holtzman claps, takes it. It's a pass. He adjusts. He fires. He's looking for Nash. Oh, and it went right in between his white gloves and tumbles out of bounds near the track. As Nolan Nash almost had another as Kendall Holtzman puts both of his palms at his face mask as he knew they had a big one right there.
Yep, that's a play you got to make down the stretch. I understand he's a freshman stuff, but he's been our go-to guy right now. As a go-to guy, you got to make the play. You have to. I know no one wants that one back, so does everyone else. But what a great ball by Kendall Holtzman to give him a chance.
That was a good pass.
It's the only play no one could have made is he put it right where no one could have made it.
4:03 stopped on the clock, 34-28. Labette in front with the ball, 3rd and 12 at the Tawanda 35. Labette moving left to right from our point of view. Couple whistles as the play clocks are not on.
The play clock is dysfunctioning right now. We're trying to get it back on.
As man, after everything that's taken place on the field with the momentum swings, the the inevitable sense of joy if Labette County wins this game that's going to take place here below us. Again, long ways to go. Still got a lot of football left to play. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but my point is, with all that, now we have a stoppage of play because the play clocks are malfunctioning. It's nobody's fault, but it just is kind of how this night's gone. It's been wonky in a fun and good way. So now we're kind of at a standstill and have a stoppage of play due to a malfunction with the play clocks. So let's go ahead. Again, not the game clock, the score and the scoreboard's all fine. The play clocks for the quarterback to know when to snap the ball, those are dysfunctioning on both ends of the field. So let's go ahead and now the referees might just be the play clock. Whenever the play clocks dysfunction, then
I go old school.
The referees are the counters of when the ball needs to be snapped. So they're already back there about to snap the ball. So we'll keep it here.
Yep, and it's usually going to be that white hat back there by Kendall. He's going to let him know when he's down to 10, 5, and count from there.
Yep. So definitely a challenge for both teams, assuming Tawanda gets the ball back at some point in time. So definitely a malfunction that works both ways, but Labette County does just so happen to be on offense at this moment in time. But boy, what a fun game. Season home opener, always much more fun when you get to open at home. Work so hard all summer, get to put your talents on display. As now Kendall's getting an explanation from two officials back there by him on what the signals are going to be like. Because the official in the secondary, that'll be where Kendall's facing, is going to be giving him some hand motions.
Okay, so we have third down.
So here we go, 3rd down and 12 for the Grizzlies. Play clocks are off. The referees are going to be what the quarterbacks have to go off of to know when to snap. 4 minutes frozen on the clock. Holtzman takes the snap, drops back, flings it. Just enough air under it to not quite get to Holt as it looked like it was going to, but it was underthrown. As Lawrence Holt was covered by 4 different T-Birds, John. 4. 4.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about that one. I mean, they had one route. There wasn't any other read there. They saw something pre-snap they wanted to take advantage of. Ball ended up a little bit short. I mean, happens. I mean, you're not going to get a perfect ball every time, although Kendall Holtzman has been dang near perfect all night.
Landon Jones should be at about a perfect distance for him to pin Tawanda deep. He gets it away. A nice kick by Jones yet again, and it's going to hit off the Tawanda defender, and it's going to be Labette County ball. I'm waiting on the signal, and it's going to be Labette County football inside the 20-yard line. Landon Jones, you maniac! The punt landed, bounced backwards, hit the backside of a Tawanda player, and that is a live loose ball, and Labette County has it 1st and 10 inside the red zone. I said in the first half, Landon Jones was the quiet MVP, and I know that might not have been intentional, but he would still get the credit in that situation. That was a great punt by Landon Jones.
Yeah, just unbelievable
opportunity
for the Grizzlies here. There's lack of awareness by the Thunderbird special teams unit allows for that to happen. I don't think I've ever seen something like that, but it's a complete blunder there.
Everything that you could imagine has happened this evening. Here's Jamal Jackson with space, getting into the secondary, stays on his feet, and is hit and brought to the ground after picking up the first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Grizzlies inside the 5.
Wow, what a run.
1st and goal for the Grizzlies.
Jamal's calling for the ball here. He got up. He was telling him, go, go, go. Auburn, Auburn, Auburn. Tempo, tempo. That's what he wants. He wants the same play call.
3:20 and counting. 34-28. Labette County on top. Jamal Jackson, the back, behind Kendall. 2 receivers out left. Ball is on the right hash. Labette looking to draw extreme blood on the already bleeding T-Birds. Jackson up the middle runs into a group of offensive and defensive linemen and gains nothing as we have surpassed the 3-minute mark.
Number 30, 33, and 24.
Yep, I'm sure we'll just try to grind this one in there, run it, set a stretch, zone. maybe some power. I don't know if we have the speed on the line to do that, but maybe something. We may even throw a quick little screen to the outside, let one of our shifty guys make a play and get in there.
The play clocks are back on. 25 seconds is put on both of them. Kendall Holtzman in the backfield with Jackson still the halfback as always. Bates and Nash on the near side. John and I are having to lean forward to see the south side of the field. Here's the snap. Jackson up the middle into the trenches again. Not much going. Maybe a gain of a yard this time, though, as they're going to give him a yard. Timeout circle after the play was over. So it will be 3rd down and goal from roughly the 4. Best I can tell from my perspective here on the north section of the field. Timeout Tawanda, 2 minutes, 11 seconds remaining. Labette 34, Circle 28. Each coach with 1 timeout remaining. 3rd and goal for Labette at the Circle 4. This has been quite the night, John.
Definitely. I don't think anyone came in here thinking. Obviously, we want to win, but I don't think we came in thinking it was going to be a shootout like this game has turned out to be. And with us and the Grizzlies would have an opportunity. Destiny's in their hands right now to close this game out. Start the season off 1-0 for the first time in, Easton Dean year? That year? TJ Mayhew that year?
Seems like Labette County always opens the season with a really tough non-conference opponent, and 5 times out of 10 that's on the road where you're traveling 2.5 hours. So really those openers are awful tough, but boy, Labette County has done a fantastic job this evening. Still has to close it out, but certainly up to this point everything has gone their way in the last few sequences. Biggest play of the game, 3rd and 5 at the Tawanda 5. They put it at the 5, not the 4. As now we're going to have another stoppage of play, maybe a play clock situation, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they kept going with the play clocks here, given how unreliable they've been down the stretch. I'm sure they're going to talk about just going back to the old school, just hand count.
2:11, we got it, 2:11.
Nope.
As I'm sure there's some Circle fans over there rolling their eyes, but really it's nobody's fault over here. It's just been hard communication since the play clock malfunctioned. So 2:11, not 2:03 on the clock. Labette up 6. It looked like it was going to be a beat down early. Holtzman, it's a quarterback sneak, and he's twisted to the ground. And the play is blown dead before he even hit the ground.
Oh, it's a timeout by Circle.
But after the play.
That's on that far side official.
That's true.
He must have heard something and didn't have time to blow his whistle before the
that
play
play
went.
was hardly blown dead and complete and over before that referee granted Coach Clothier his 3rd and final timeout of the half. So, yeah, I mean, without question, John, 2 minutes, 5 seconds to go. Labette 34, Circle 28, 4th and goal, and now they say he gained a couple on the Circle 3-yard line. Obviously, you go for it because if you score, you probably win. But if you don't, Circle has to go 98 yards in 2 minutes with no timeouts, which is doable, but both options aren't terrible, or you could kick a field goal.
Yep, I think you kick it here. It's about an extra point. I think if we're right in the middle, you send out the kicking unit.
Because if you make it, it's as good as a touchdown because it's a 2-possession game.
Yeah, exactly.
That would make it 37-28. But Coach Price elects to keep his offense on the field. Here's Holtzman with Jackson behind him. In motion is Bates. Here's the snap. It's a fade to the corner of the end zone. Phillips adjusts, and Phillips caught it! Touchdown! LC Grizzlies! Xavier Phillips with touchdown number 2. Sean Price fist pumping all the way on the north end of the sideline.
I thought he had a hat trick at first. Has Xavier had 3 tonight? It doesn't matter. We got the lead. 2-score game. Everyone's happy. Grizzlies are looking good to open the season 1-0.
Labette County has hung 40 points on a team that they were goose-egged on the road last year. 40-28 with the extra point pending. This is absolutely amazing.
Wow. There's a new era of Labette County football where we start the season 1-0 now. No, it's looking good.
Here's Holtzman for the two-point conversion. Hit as he throws and way too high, but boy, what a tough spot to be in for Kendall Holtzman. He was looking for Nolan Nash. Two-point attempt, no good. With a minute 57 to go, Labette 40, Circle 28.
Yep. If we get the ball back, the game is practically over as Circle has 0 timeouts left. So if you do let him score, you got to get the onside kick. I'm sure they're going to talk about Hans' team down there when it happens, too.
As I know, Amanda, I probably need to send it back for a break. They're already about to kick off, so I should probably keep it here.
High
or I
school
might
sports
be,
fans, follow your team live with the free
I might be
ScoreStream
harassed
mobile
this
app.
weekend.
Just download ScoreStream to get
Minute
real-time
57
scores,
to go.
photos,
Labette
and
up
awesome
12,
video
about
from
to
your
kick it
game
off.
and your rivals.
As
Plus,
Nolan
follow
Nash
your
has
favorite
been
teams
the
and
place
friends.
kicker.
Get real-time
Landon
high school
Jones
sports from
has been the
ScoreStream.
punter, and boy, those two have done a great job tonight.
It has been the newcomers tonight that have really been stepping up for this team. Nolan Nash, freshman, who's never supposed to play in this game. Well, I'm sure he didn't think that, but he's been making plays all night for us, and he's done a great job kicking. Pretty sure he's made all but 1 extra point tonight, so he's done a great job being thrown into the fire like this.
Nolan Nash has it teed up at the middle of the 40-yard line. Grizzly fans can smell a W. A 1-0 start for Labette is near, but not quite, as Circle's going to field it near the 40 and just run out of bounds with a minute 52 to go, and on comes the Tawanda offense, headed up by Connor Chadwell.
See some energy on the sideline with Coach Lacey in that kicking tee, doing his best fadeaway impression. Great job by Nolan, though, getting down there and pushing him out of bounds. As the T-Birds come out with 2 sets of twin receivers, both on the left and right. Believe that is Rose on his right side. Shotgun. Takes the snap. Clock's rolling. Quick pass to the outside. Caught. He's tackled inbounds by Lawrence Holt.
Thank you, John. I was tending to our cameraman, Caleb McKee. Minute 35 to go in the game. Second down and 4. Here's Chadwell after the 6-yard game on the previous play. Is he going to be dumped? You betcha! Labette County's defense, or was he not sacked? Did I speak too hastily?
I don't know what just happened. You may have lost the ball and scored it out and they went and got it. I don't know. Can't really see it from this angle.
I guess they're going to grant him a forward pass that was incomplete. As boy, it looked like he was on the ground. So third down and 4 for Circle. Labette 40, Circle 28, minute 18 to go. Yes, you heard that score correctly if you're just tuning in. Third and 4, Chadwell drops back, a nice pocket, slings, and it's caught by Ailes across the 50 to the Labette 45. So Labette County with a bit of a missed opportunity. Circle would have gone for it on 4th anyways. Labette can afford to play on their heels, but they need to put just enough pressure to where that clock sizzles. Chadwell flings it again to Ailes, and it's incomplete, tumbles out of bounds.
Yep, I'll be surprised if we don't go dime look here. Bring out one of those linebackers, which actually, I'm surprised if we keep Roper in there, maybe throw him on the edge, send some heat too. There's different trains of thoughts in these kind of situations. So shotgun for Chadwell. He drops back, he's looking. No time, pressure, he's running. And he's brought down from behind.
Third down and 8 coming up for Circle. Roper Whitley's been fantastic for Labette County, as Labette County's going to start the season 1-0 and defeat the Circle T-Birds. Here's Chadwell. It's just a matter of what the final score is. Throws it to Ailes, and it's incomplete again. It is going to be 4th down and 7 for the T-Birds, and it would just be nice to finish on this note rather than let them squeak one in, as listen to the Grizzly Nation cheer.
Grizzlies, 4th down.
4th down and 7. Trips left, deuces right. Labette rushes 4. Chadwell bleeds out to the left side. Squares up, throws off his back foot, heaves it to the end zone. Incomplete! And Labette County's going to win it 40-28. A 1-0 start for your LC Grizzlies.
Rise up, Grizzly Nation, rise up!
And that is something you have not heard in a long time, Grizzly Nation. Your Labette County Grizzlies have knocked off the Circle Thunderbirds of Tawanda. And they'll be looking to take this momentum into next week, Jack.
As I've been excited more so for next week's game than really any game I have been in a while, which is at Parsons. And the way that the game tonight has turned out makes me just that much more excited to go into Viking territory and hopefully watch what should be a really fun game against a very, very talented Parsons squad. Kendall takes the snap and kneels it, flings the pigskin high in the air, and walks with some swagger back to his sideline. A 1-0 start for the Grizzlies. 40-28 is your final score.
Great game, everybody. Next week.
Labette County was down in the third quarter with 9 minutes to go, 28-13, and they finished on a 27-0 run to beat Tawanda Circle. It is nothing but celebration just below us here at Lucas Field. We're going to let it simmer for just a little bit during a 60-second timeout. Actually, let's make that a 3-minute timeout so we can gather ourselves and some statistics, and we'll come back with our Bowen Pharmacy post-game show. What a night for Labette County football here in Altamont. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Altamont, Kansas is Celebration City here tonight. Labette County knocks off Circle 40-28. And I say knocks off simply because Circle is a team that beat us 50-0 last year. And even if some positional players are different, it's about the principle. It meant a lot to these guys. Circle is a fantastic team. And it just, for this team, highly doubted, especially in this affair, to come out with a win and do so in the manner in which they did it. They overcame adversity. They overcame 14, 15-point deficits in the second half and won it 40-28 and scored 27 unanswered points.
Yep, I definitely had to eat some of my words, after those first 2 plays of the game. We had up those long touchdowns runs. Kind of got down on them. But, the 7 points in the second half, 21 in the first. Just a complete script flip for the Grizzly defense. We can talk about the offense all night long. We talked about them all day. That defense, they stepped up, they made plays. Roper Whitley everywhere. Matthew Jarman, he stepped up in that second half. Lawrence Holt, Kagan Bate. You can talk about it. You get guys making plays all over the place. So when that happens, you do what you did out there. You won. You won the ball game. Right? Now you got to carry this momentum into practice next week, right?
Sure.
There are still plenty of mistakes, right? It's a learning experience. Every week is a learning experience. You take something out of it and you carry that on to the next week. So eventually, we get enough games. If we win some, we'll get a little bit higher seed. We can go maybe do something in the postseason. 'Cause we don't care about the regular season, right? Everything matters in that postseason. Truly does, right? You don't play this game for a regular season. Play it to go have a chance to go to state, make some noise.
I think the only thing that's on these boys' mind and the only thing that should be on these guys' mind right now is this victory.
Yeah.
I am so happy for everyone wearing red down on the field, whether they're a player or not. Every coach, every player, every administrator. I know we might be sounding a little goofy, talking like we won this huge championship.
Yep.
Well, this was a championship.
Yes.
I am so happy for everyone down on that field. And I'm so happy just to be able and call tonight's game because I know that it meant a lot to them, and to win it in the way in which they did was so much fun to watch. John, do you have some statistics for us?
Yes, I do. Now, I have Ken Holtzman stats, if we're being honest.
Go for it.
You ready for this? All right. Kendall Holtzman tonight, 291 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 2 touchdown receptions for Xavier Phillips. A 68-yard strike. Okay, I shouldn't say that. Catch and run for Jamal. 45-yard strike to Nolan Nash. And a 16-yard strike to Kagan Bates in that first quarter. He spread the wealth around. A lot of guys stepped up to make plays. We talked early in this game about the lack of weapons, right? We didn't have a lot of returners. And then these guys, they came in and started making plays tonight.
As Coach Price is making his way up to us, we're going to take a 1-minute timeout and give him some time to get situated. We'll be back with head coach Sean Price, Grizzlies' big-time win in Altamont. 1 minute, KLKC. Welcome in, Grizzly fans, to the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show where we welcome head coach Sean Price of the victorious Labette County Grizzlies. Coach, what's churning right now? A lot of emotions.
Yeah, I mean, to start off 1-0 is a big one, but I'm going to tell you, this team had so much guts. We misaligned the first play of the game and gave them a freebie. Then we just literally did not finish the tackle. They're at 14-0. Man, I'm going to tell you what, past 4 years, we'd have wilted. That would have been enough right there. But these guys, the amount of heart and guts, I've never had a team with more guts in them because I'm telling you, though, the factor was we got within a touchdown going halftime. 3 of their guys cramped in that parking lot. Our kids just ate it up. Hey, we're going to rip that heart out, take a bite out of it every time. Proud of these kids. We had so many playmakers. I mean, you can't sing like anybody. They were so darn good tonight. So proud of them.
They were, absolutely. And John just finished, it's on my mind, reading Kendall Holtzman's statistics. And sure, man, those weapons looked great. Nolan Nash, outrageously talented freshman. I mean,
yeah,
we can go through all the players, Coach, but 0 picks. Kendall Holtzman had 0 picks.
Yeah.
Threw one off his back foot that maybe kind of sort of should have been picked. He played a great game.
He did.
Seems to really mature in that pocket.
He rolled out with the post on Nolan. Nolan kind of flattened that post.
Yeah.
And he rolled out, and he threw him open.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
threw it in the middle of the field, so he had to adjust his route to get to it because there was no one else there. I mean, guys, that was a dagger right there. That was a dagger right there. I mean, they were laying down. They were quitting already. But, man, I'll tell you what, a ranked team, and I mean, all we hear, circle this, circle that. We don't care about circle here.
Coach, you spoke so highly and how excited you were for Labette County's front 6 on defense. The trenches were huge. I thought the O-line was great. But, yeah, that front 6 on defense, you could feel it flip whenever they clinched their teeth.
They did. We made a little adjustment at half, just getting the right spots. And, man, those kids, I mean, Chris, Michael, Cole, Matthew Jarman, Roper, Bradley, Tayton, wow. I mean, those guys just played so hard and physical. And, man, they wanted it so bad. These guys are winners. And I'm telling you, I'll say it, the scoreboard doesn't factor who's a winner and who's a loser. I just don't agree with that at all. But these kids, man, they just will go the extra mile. And I'm really proud of them. As I watch my seniors laying on the ground out there like girls, I don't know.
Getting their pictures for social media.
Yeah, we're posing for pictures. I don't know what that is.
Coach, someone who stood out to me, Nolan Nash did a good job off that tee.
Yeah.
And Landon Jones did a nice job punting the football.
Landon punted really, really well. Honestly, it was huge.
It was.
Had a couple that turned the tables on him and put him in real bad position. So I'm really proud of him, and I'm proud of all of our kids. It was just
absolutely.
It was an amazing night.
Now, Coach, I just want to ask you a question. Where do you rank this group of weapons you guys have? Because, I mean, you just looked out there. I mean, guys are making people miss out in open space, getting upfield. I mean, it's got to be a luxury to have, Coach.
Yeah, we've not had that in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, the really good team we had in 14, I mean, not 14, I don't know, 18, 19, whatever. I can't, guys, I'm getting old. But, we had a lot of weapons. But, we might have more weapons here. I mean, we really might. And we're young guys. We're graduating 3 guys on offense, 1 guy on defense.
Oh, my goodness.
That's it. And, we're just going to get better. These kids are going to work harder, get stronger. I'm proud of all of them. I really am. And Kendall, he had a hell of a game. He really did. I mean, he did what he needed to do. I'm proud of my coaches, though, guys. My coaches have worked hard. Coach Hurley, Coach Arterbright, Coach Brown, Coach Russell, Coach Pierce, Coach Hayward. Them guys have been tireless. And we were able to, put our kids in a good position to win a ball game. And I'm proud of those guys for that.
Is there a message you want to get across to your players after a performance like tonight going into next week?
Well, nothing's impossible. You could look at this game. They beat us 50-0 last year and just ran it up on us. It'd been easy 14-0 the way it happened so quick. Crap, here we go again. I don't see this in mess. These kids know the answer. They saw the message. They knew it. They believed in themselves. And, that's all it takes sometimes is just you get one group believing in themselves when no one else does because it doesn't matter. We only need us.
Right, yeah, Coach, I mean, we could Jamal Jackson, Lawrence Holt, Barrett Heston, Kagan Bates, every player was so much fun to watch play their role because they know how to do it so well.
That's the key, man. Just do what you're supposed to do. Do your job.
Exactly. Coach, I don't want to cut you short, but I do want you to enjoy this.
I am going to go down and enjoy it.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate everything you do, okay?
Hey, thank you, Coach. Hopefully we're having a similar conversation next Friday.
I'll see you next Friday.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you. Congratulations. Labette County wins it 40-28, a shocker here in Lucas Field. Still celebrations taking place all across the north side of the field here just below us. John, we go to Viking territory next week. It's always fun, especially when both teams, Parsons put it on, I believe it was Prairie View tonight, so Labette 1-0, Parsons 1-0, both scored 40 points, 40 points. Labette definitely more on the upset side of their victory. Going to be a fun clash of the red and gold and the blue and gold up north next week.
Definitely. I mean, this is something you live for. Unfortunately, we didn't play them for 4 or 5 years. The last time we played them, our coach, O-line coach now, Travis Hurley, was the head coach of the Parsons Vikings. Before last year, it had been forever since we played them. And we saw last year how packed it was, the environment it was in.
It was great.
I mean, it's going to be amazing next week. So, folks, if you're listening to this, you don't want to miss it. If at all possible, please be there. It's going to be something amazing. Once a year. It's a once-a-year thing. It's just you just got to be there to experience it. It's truly just an amazing, moment for everyone to be there.
So happy for these kids. Labette wins it 40-28. Tune in next Friday night. We'll be live from Parsons, Kansas to take on those Vikings. Tank Connection pregame show will be live and on the air at this station and on YouTube and Facebook Live at about 6:40 p.m. That'll do it from Lucas Field. Labette victorious 1-0 to start the 2023 season. Upset City is Altamont, Kansas for this evening. We'll talk to you next week from Parsons. Good night, everybody, and God bless.